Alright, hey guys, how's it going? Hopefully you guys can hear me and all that, whatnot. I'm streaming now, hopefully. Alright, let me post the streams and whatnot in the Discord server. I'm just going to be casting the semifinals and finals. Maybe I'll cast the excuse me, hold on, I'm trying to fix stuff. Maybe I'll cast other replays. We'll see. But alright. Should be good to go. Let me make sure that not this. Yeah. All right. Save some replays. Here we go. I'm just gonna wait for the go-to from JP. Let's see. I'm gonna save some more replays. We got some lovely replays from Nardu. Gonna make sure I get those casted. I also have, let's see, some Slanesh versus Schemin from Angel Dust. There's one from Torreson. And Titus, okay. Now, I'm not sure if I'll cast all of these. If I have the energy to, I will. Didn't exactly sleep well last night, but luckily land battle matches don't take super long to cast, and like I said, new player replays or matches are actually pretty fun to cast. So because of the amount of diversity in new player tournaments, as opposed to sweaty. Oh, somebody saved this as autosave. God dang it! Let me change the name. As opposed to sweaty tournaments. Let's see, Skaven versus Corn Angel Dust. All right. One game wrapping up and we're good to go. Sweet. All right, just got word from JP. Okay. We'll close that out. Hey, look, it's Nardu. Good old Nardu. I think we should be good. Let me check real quick. Yeah, new player tournaments, again, are just so much more fun than sweaty tournaments. Sweaty tournaments, you will always see the same the same factions, like the generally like the same like 10 factions or so, and it's just gonna be the exact same type of builds, no matter who they're up against usually. Uh, Most of the time, it's just not that fun to cast, and I'm glad I don't like hosting those type of tournaments, and I don't really like watching them the majority of the time, because especially in land battle, it's just like so much worse, like in terms of the diversity or the variety of builds you see. Wait, did Nardu not play freaking Slanesh today? Come on, Nardu. Also, let me turn things up real quick. That's fine. All right. We're still waiting for one game. Let me check the brackets. I always forget that he does 3 rounds. I might ask him. I might ask JP why he does 3 rounds, because it just feels like so abrupt. Like it started at 12 and it's already over. Yeah, an hour 30 minutes later. It's like, geez. I know I talked about this last time. It's just still weird to me. Let me check the. I'm guessing let me have to check the top 4 then. I guess it's not up yet. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, it seems like all the matches are done and ready. Yeah, unfortunately, like, look, 3 people. I know Yashkaf ended up leaving anyways, but oh, I know what happened. Yashkaf wasn't dropped, so it looks like Yashkaf got a bye in the 3rd round, but in reality, they didn't. Yeah, so it looks like I know I saw Yashkaf had posted in the Discord chat that they were dropping, so they didn't get a bye. They need to be dropped. I'll probably drop them for because I said, let me see. I'll probably drop them for JP. Let me see. So I believe Yashkav mentioned earlier in the tournament public chat about them dropping. Unfortunately, I have to run and leave the tournament. Leaves you an even number of players for round 3. Yeah. So I'll do JP a solid there, and I'll drop Yashkav for them, so it doesn't like mess up any scores or whatnot. Told me that if I played Slanesh again, he'd order me a pizza, but steal it from my porch and eat it in front of me. That is a heinous accusation. I never said that. Never happened. This is slander, and you will be hearing from my lawyer. In fact, I want everybody to know that I told Nartu, if they get any wins today, I will personally play Slanesh in the next SFT I play in. So I'm just saying, don't trust Nardu. Okay, so the final match is done, I think. Lud Green finished their match. Somebody put -1. Nice. Oh, Pete's at that courtroom. I'm gonna go out and say on the limb there and say I don't think that's gonna be allowed in the courtroom. I think the judge is gonna kick you out. And to be fair, it's deserved, because who knows what kind of contraption of a pizza you eat anyways, Nardu. As a Slanesh main, I can't imagine what you put on your pizza. Also, yeah, as newer players, just FYI, I know only one person is doing it here, I think. I think it's just some. Okay, yeah. So Lundgren, they seem to be the only one that's doing it. But whenever you put the score in for your opponent, for you and your opponent, don't put -1. Put just a 0. Just put 1-0. -1 kind of just screws everything up. I mean, it won't actually have an actual effect on the later bracket. It's just like it doesn't. It's not supposed to be that way. That's all. All right, so Angel Dust, Lundgren, Trogdor, and G. I don't know who the G is because streamer mode is enabled on Discord. But they are our finalists. Well done to all our spectators. Hope you had fun before you start your games. We'll play those one at a time. So Dreaded Saurian can cast live. Please make a spectator slot in your lobby and send them the code. Sweet. Typically, I like to have mushrooms and pepperoni, but we can add some spinach on that bad boy. Honestly, okay, that's fine. I respect it. I like. I'm not a huge pepperoni fan, but I love some mushrooms on a pizza, and I love some spinach on a pizza. All right, let me join this lobby real quick. like I said, I completely respect your choice to play some Nash. I salute you, in fact, because again, Slanesh is not easy to play. For some reason, for some godforsaken reason, Strat game. We all know Strat here, at least some of you do, in the land battle community. He thinks Slanesh isn't the worst faction, but it's Chaos Dwarves. But that is completely wrong. It's Slanesh in every single way. And there's nothing you can say otherwise. But considering that they're the worst means that anybody who plays Slanesh willingly, you gotta respect, because they're really just fighting for their lives out there every single match. You're crazy, Nardu. Who do you think is the worst? Come on, come at me. Come on with your hot spitfire take. Come on, let's hear it. No, as in the worst. Like how good they are as a faction against other factions, like in a tier list way. If we were organizing by factions I hate the most, Slanesh would not even make it, because Slanesh is fine. The factions I would probably hate the most in general, again, playing against, and honestly even playing as, has to do with either maybe, I mean, I don't know, I can't say that because I like playing as Zinch, but I hate playing against Zinch. The way people sweatily play Zinch is disgusting. So Zinch is probably up there in the worst type of faction to play against, or the worst faction to play against, up there with Kislev and probably Beastman. I hate playing against Beastman so much. Okay, yeah, Naruto, you're out of your mind. Greenskins are so good. They're not like S tier in land battles, I believe, but they're still at least like B tier. They're pretty. They're fine. They're middle of the road. Especially now that they have a Pharaoh Wyvern, which can contest the. They can actually contest the air with, because before that, they could not contest the air at all. So gyrocopters and whatnot, which is flyers, would just dumpster on them. Obviously, you have the massive amount of arrows. Like you can bring a bunch of Night Goblin archers. You can bring a bunch of Savage Orc archers, Orc Boar archers, which is great. And I've struggled against that massive amount of archers, but your opponent has to really blunder to drop the ball with their air control, with their air forces. When it comes to going against Greenskin, because having air over Greenskins is so incredibly nice. I just don't like playing against Beastmen because some of the best Beastmen players out there are so incredibly hard to play against. I can't handle it. It's too much going on at once. Beastmen players are so incredibly good at the game. I can't do it. Which sucks too, because I love Beastmen. I love Minos. I think Minos are like some of my favorite fantasy. Fantasy. I guess I can't think of the word. Creatures. Yeah, creatures. Fantasy creatures like ever in like fantasy because they're so incredibly cool. And I also just like Beastmen thematically as well. But playing against them and playing as them, I both struggle as playing as them, and I struggle playing against them. Yeah, I get way too overwhelmed with them as well, Nardi. Don't worry. They're um they're a struggle to play as. I think I obviously have an easier time in Dom because there's obviously a different style of play in Dom versus land battle. But in land battle I struggle with them, and even then like my issue with Beastmen in land battle, like sweatier tournaments and stuff like that, is that you're generally gonna see the same type of play. Double Gorgon Jabber or Mass Centaur builds. That's typically it. If I could somehow make Bestigor builds viable, I would love to run an elite Bestigor build because I love Bestigors. But unfortunately, they're not viable. Let me take off the blocker here and let's get right into it. So we got two of our semifinalists here. I don't know why their player names aren't showing up. That's weird. But we do have, let's see, Gepadors and Lundgreen. Lundgreen and Gepadors. I don't know how to say that. Gepadors. I don't know. But Gepar is on the Team Kings. Team Kings, we have Cetra the Imperishable on his cute little Sphinx, little kitty. We got Urson's Incantation of Vengeance, Incantation of Protection, and the Blessed Blade of Petra for that those flaming attacks, blinded magical attacks. In a lot of matchups, this is incredibly good, specifically for that flaming magical. But blinded is a fantastic effect for those who love Cetra as much as I do. You're gonna generally want to take this in a lot of matchups. There will be some occasions where you won't. But generally, this is an extremely good item, and it'll last for 43 seconds. So that is a lot of time compared to most buffs that some lords get with their items. But yeah, Incantation of Vengeance, a fantastic spell, slows people down, or slows the unit down, and does a pretty good chunk of damage. I've recently learned about it. Incantation Protection, you're going to be spamming this out whenever you need that 40% Fizz Res, say like I'm throwing on Cetra when dealing with units that don't have magical attacks. So say if he gets surrounded by, I don't know, Demigryph Knights, if he's fighting Boris Toddbringer, you can throw this on top of him, give him that 40% Fizz Res, reduce some of that damage that he's taking, and also, considering it's only 6 points of magic, you're also getting a Restless Dead proc for that 0.2% heal across your army. We have the Chosen of the Gods Ushapti Great Bow, which are great all around. Blessed Legion of Pertka, who have that sundered armor, reducing that armor on any targets they shoot at. So they're fantastic. Eyes of the Desert, pretty much you're going to be a staple in a lot of Tomb King's matchups. I've raved and raved about them, and I always will, because they're just such a good unit. They're incredible, and I practically never leave home with them in most matchups. We also have a Necrotech for that restore, which is going to be, you have two uses out of them. You're going to restore the health of the Necrosphinx. Whenever you're bringing a big SCM like your Necrosphinx, you're going to want to heal them up, as especially against missile factions, as they can whittle them down very, very quickly. We have Carrion as well for the flyers. They will be trying to screen out any other flyers from the Empire side, like Karl Franz, Boris Todbringer, etc., and also get on top of range units. Spearmen for the front line as well, because that's pretty much all you need. Swordsmen aren't going to, the infantry of the Empire are not going to be your biggest issue. Karl Franz will be the Lord for the Empire side. He is on Deathclaw. He has Stand Your Ground, Reichland Runefang, and Gal Moraz, and plus Blood Roar from him being on his Griffin. We also have a Jade Wizard, because again, whenever you're playing with a big SEM like Karl Franz, who has no healing, you need healing. So Earthblood and Regrowth, generally you want to take only want to take one of these, but it's fine. And Flesh of Stone, plus Power Stone for that power recharge rate, and Life Bloom. Halberds for the front line, Flagellants, and great swords as well in the back line. Very cool. See, you do not see this stuff in freaking sweaty tournaments. I love this. I never see Flagellants. I love Flagellants, and then great swords as well. Then we have a Hellstorm freaking rocket battery, just a regular one, not the Sunmaker. And then we have a Huckling rifles, which is going to be great at shooting down at big SEMs, like constructs. We also have Knights of the Black Rose, 2 of them, and we have a Warrior Priest, again, which you never would see on a freaking horseback. I love this. He has Soulfire, Shield of Faith for that 20% ward save, and Hammer of Sigmar for that melee attack buff. Yeah, Halberds will be the front line, try to protect all the back line. That's going to be the goal of the Empire side. Try to get some good engagements with those Knights of the Black Rose. Got to be careful with those guys. And like I said, be careful with them, because if things could go sour here really quickly, you really don't want to be sending the Knights of the Black Rose on the Chosen of the Gods, especially with Cetra and all of these guys here, which encounter the Knights of the Black Rose very quickly. But nonetheless, we do have the Knights of the Black Rose charging into these guys. Again, you don't want to be sending cav into these, any anti-infantry cav into them, because they do have bonus versus large, and they also have charge reflection. So we're embracing this unit causes additional damage when attacking charging enemies. Plus, they have charge defense versus large, so negating that charge bonus of any large attackers like cav. But nonetheless, Knights of the Black Rose do push through and get on top of the Blessed Legion of Petra, which is okay. We also have something here, Incantation of Vengeance, slowing down those Knights of the Black Rose and doing considerable damage to them as well. They might end up routing here down to 8 leadership, we'll see. We do see the Carrion jumping on top of the Hellstorm rocket battery, but Karl Franz sends them quickly back to the dead, back to their home in the sand. Skeleton Spearmen are being fended off. We do have Sepulchral Stalkers. I didn't even notice that they had 2 of them, but we do have the Sepulchral Stalkers who could get some shots into Karl Franz. But right now, they are being sent into melee because of they were force pathing them, trying to get them to shoot on Karl Franz. But these infantry are in the way, so you have to pull these guys out, send them around, and start shooting at Karl again. Cetra doesn't want to take the engagement with Karl Franz. He is an anti-large fighter for a reason. He's an anti-large specialist duelist, so he would beat the brakes off Cetra even with the Blessed Blade of Bertrand. If you are going to fight him, definitely throw that Incantation of Protection, which he does, which helps. Actually, you don't even want that's not even going to help you, because Karl Franz does have magical attacks on Deathclaw. So get him out of there, send him around, send him through the flanks of the halberds. Just get him away from Karl Franz, and get the Sepulchral Stalkers out of melee. To support him. They could even shoot into that Jade Wizard there, which would be fantastic. Getting that healing off the field, and Karl Franz not letting Karl Franz heal anymore would be fantastic. Warrior Priest and Knights of the Black Rose definitely need to come back and join the fight. We do have some Knights of the Black Rose stopping the Blessed Legion of Petra, but they're also occupying the time of the Necrosphinx, which is good. Spearmen coming over as well, Necrotech as well. Cetra might end up falling here depending on how things go. This could be pretty bad for the Tomb King side. Definitely need to bring that Necrosphinx over to support Cetra, as he is taking a considerable amount of damage. And yeah, you got to be careful here. if that Necrosphinx can save Cetra, he's just really low at the moment. He's done a 2100 HP. Gotta throw an Incantation of Protection on him to get that healing, and we do get that healing a little bit for a little, but he needs to get out of the fight. Need to screen him out with that Necrosphinx. Etc. is up to 20 leadership, however, he is stabilizing. Do have the Eyes of the Desert pushing through the back line, going to get on top of the Hockland long rifles. Yeah, this is definitely not where they want to be. First of all, they don't want to be in melee in the first place usually, unless they have to. Majority of the time, they want to be up and shooting. They have 17 volleys of ammunition left, or excuse me, 12 volleys of ammunition left that they still need to shoot. That is practically full ammunition that they should be shooting. I understand that the Hockland long rifles are obviously important, but that's what you're carrying her for. You want to reserve those carrying until the right opportunity, until you can collapse on top of the Empire formation. But yeah, bring the Empire, bring those Eyes of the Desert around if possible, and even you could have even summoned this Ushapti on top of them. Summoning the Ushapti on the halberds was a terrible idea. Definitely could have summoned them in the back line and get on top of those Hockland long rifles. But yeah, those Eyes of the Desert might end up crumbling. We'll see. If not, we can get a restore on top of them. But Necrotech is possibly going into crumbling, and we do end up losing Cetra. Balance of power is going to start going into the Empire's favor there, and I definitely think it's going to be going to the Empire, unfortunately. Chosen of the Gods still shooting, but this isn't even the ideal target. Chosen of the Gods in particular have a burst type shot, so it's generally better to shoot into infantry as opposed compared to the regular Ushapti, who shoot better into not single entities, but yeah, single entities, but also like monstrous infantry and cav. Yeah, these guys are more specialized into infantry. But it was a good scrap nonetheless. Carl Franz might fall here depending on how greedy the Empire gets here, but yeah, no. And Carl Franz is running away. Necrotech is probably going to go back into crumbling status, and yeah, army losses hitting. And GG's. Well played to both players. Value was pretty high up for the Empire there, 11,000 to 7,000. Well played to both players. Alright, just checking the text really quick. Alright. Yeah, let's look at the values real quick. So we do have 1345 here on Cetra, 77 here on the Necrotech. Spearmen are not going to pick up much value. Blessed Legion of Fakah basically had no time to shoot at all. Everything here, 1448, 651, 2174 here on the Necrosphinx. Yeah, the Necrosphinx being tied up in Nice Little Black Rose was tough. He needed to be around to screen out Carl Franz. I mean, him fighting off Cav isn't the issue. The issue is that he was fighting off Cav and it wasn't really doing anything for the back line. The back line were still able to shoot because the other two defensive units, like the Eyes of the Desert, were also too pushed into the front line, or just too pushed into that front line or into their back line, and weren't there to defend like they should have been. Necrosphinx still did fine, but again, there was more ideal positions for it. 1448 on the Chosen of the Gods, they still did great. 2576 on Carl Franz. He's perfect for hunting down big SCs like Cetra, who aren't that great of duelists. I mean, Cetra is a good duelist, don't get me wrong, but he's not an anti-large specialist like Carl Franz is. Carl Franz is specifically built for something like that, for fighting Cetra. And he did a great job there, obviously, especially with the support and the healing from the Jade Wizard. 616 on the Warrior Priest. Everything else did fine. Vigilance did good. Hockland Long Rifles did good as well. Nice Little Black Rose did great as well. 549 on the Hellstorm Rocket Battery. Well played to both players. I'll try my best. If you posted one in there, I will definitely take a look at it. All right, let me join the other lobby. Let me put the blocker real quick. All right. Posted all three. Okay, y'all check them out. Mind the dogs. You know, I have a massive amount of dogs, and they are not too happy when they hear the sound of literally anything when it comes to when somebody's outside. But we do have the Skaven here and the High Elves, I believe. Let's see. Yes, it seems like so, considering the builds already. Yeah, honestly, what a bad dog parent I am for letting them bark into the mic. How dare they be allowed to bark? Let me put my phone on the charger. 1 second. All right. We're on to the next semifinals match. We got Deathmaster Snitch here for the Skaven side. Let me take off the blocker. We got Deathmaster Snitch here for the Skaven side up against the Princess of the High Elves. Probably gonna root here for Skaven. As much as I like the High Elves, I don't. Skaven are just the best. So. All right. So Angel rocking the Skaven. We got Deathmaster Snitch with the Deathmaster Sigil for that net effect, and it does a little bit of damage as well. But you're mostly shooting for the net to give him time to catch up to them. Slippery as well, and Whirl of Weeping Blades for that AoE damage effect. We also have Gutter Runners for the range component, with some Rat Ogres as well for your mobile forces. Clan Rats for the front line with shields. We also have some Plague Monks. Very cool. I love to see some Plague Monks. Cool stuff. We also have the dreaded Doom Flayers, which people have been touting as overpowered and most heinous crime against humanity. We'll see how they do. Death Runners as well, so going a little thematic with that Eshin build. So pretty cool around. Wait. No caster? Oof, there's no caster on the Skaven side. That's interesting. Princess on a Griffin? Hello? I've never seen anybody take that Griffin mount. Cool. No abilities. We do have a Mage of Fire with Burning Head on a Sun Dragon with that Kindle Flame, proccing that weakness to fire damage of 20% every time it casts. So, gonna be pretty deadly into Skaven. Rangers for the front line. They do have Vanguard now, so they're pretty good. We also have some Silver Helms who do get an engagement with those Gutter Runners. Right off the bat, really good engagement. They're going to be running off those Gutter Runners, and if they run them out, then they will be really close to the white line and run off the field. Leon Reaver Archers as well for the skirmishing side. These Silver Helms also get in there, but now they're getting surrounded, which is not great for the High Elf side. Sorry, I was just confused there. Why is there two casters here? Another caster here with Earthblood on foot. Interesting. But yeah, Spearmen as well and Archers for the back line. Death Flayers, or Doom Flayers, getting in there, doing good work into those Rangers. And now we're going to make their way over and surround the Princess there. We'll see how they do, but we do have the Silver Helms coming over. Might help out. Plague Monks squeezing through that front line as well. Rat Ogres running through. A nice burning head hits these Clan Rats and hits these. Will it go through the Plague Monks too? No, it will not. It will just skim those Clan Rats. Do some decent damage there. Mage needs to get a nice breath attack here. That could be pretty nice. Or they can come over here and get it on some of those death runners. That could be pretty good too. We'll see. Yeah, a nice breath attack here. Nice lineup. Going to hit those Rat Ogres and those Clan Rats. Pretty beautiful. Mwah. Fantastic. Gutter Runners trying to screen out those Silver Helms, which is a weird thing to say, but those Gutter Runners do end up getting run over by those Silver Helms, and vice versa for these other Gutter Runners as well. The Silver Helms are going to catch up to them. We do have some left over here with the Death Runners and Deathmaster Stitch, who will be getting up by these Rangers. These Gutter Runners definitely need to be shooting into the Dragons and the Princess. And yeah, it's quite unfortunate that these Gutter Runners were left without any support. Really, those Rat Ogres needed to help out with those Silver Helms, because now there's pretty much no range components aside from this one Gutter Runner who was not targeting the right choice. If these Doom Flayers are as good as people say, they need to get on top of these Silver Helms and do some and help out with those, help out the cav issue that the Skaven are having. We do have some more Rat Ogres as well. Some will probably get onto the Archer line, but here come the Dragon and the Griffin, which will be very good at terror routing those Rat Ogres, as the Rat Ogres, they don't have natural ITP, they just have Frenzy ITP, and they just lost it as they no longer have 50% leadership. So they get terror routed now. Burning Head hitting those Plague Monks, going to do some decent work. They're going to hit the Clan Rats, actually. Going to do some decent work there and rout them off. Quite unfortunate there. Could have hit all three of them, but good enough. Rat Ogres get terror routed as well, and this is when we're going to start seeing some issues here. You have no more range components to shut down, to screen out the Dragons, or the Griffins. Now you have no Rat Ogres to deal with the Cav side. We do have two. We have one. Is it just the one coming back? Yeah, it seems like just the one coming back. So you only have one Rat Ogre right now. Two actually in total. But these guys will probably rout as soon as they even get to the field, as they only have 2 leadership left. A Burning Breath attack hitting these Plague Monks. Going to do some decent work there. The Princess moving over to catch onto Deathmaster Snitch. Try to save the Life Mage. But I think the Princess should honestly maybe lose that duel. But obviously with 2v1, yeah, Deathmaster Snitch is not going to want to be there. Though we do have the Doom Flayers here. Let's see if these OP Doom Flayers can help out on Deathmaster Snitch there and win the battle. Though we do have the Lane Reaver Archers coming over to support as well. Going to get us around there on the Doom Flayers. And let's see if those broken machines can save the day. Gutter Runners being run off. Somehow they're still not finished off, but these guys get routed off. Only 29 models left. 600 400 HP. These guys are going to be routed off as well. We do still have one about, but tied in battle and not shooting like they should be. Archers just shooting in. Rat Ogres getting a decent engagement here with the Silver Helms, but they're way too beat up to the point where I think the Silver Helms would honestly clutch that out. Archers shooting in as well. We do have some infantry and units in general coming back from the High Elf side. We do have these Archers shooting into this blob here from the Skaven side. These Doom Flayers do get routed off. They have 90 kills, 1,000 value. Pretty good there, but a bit too much there for those poor Doom Flayers. Another breath attack. Wonderful breath attacks today from in this game from the High Elf player, Trogdor. Doing some wonderful work. And Deathmaster Snitch gets knocked over. That's the bonus thing of him being a Foot Lord, is that a lot of the times when he should take damage, he'll just get knocked over instead and not take any damage. And instead, he'll do some great damage in return, as these dragons can't be knocked over. These dragons and griffins. Yeah, that'll definitely go into the High Elf side, I believe. I don't think there's any way for the Skaven side to come back from this. They have nothing to deal with the dragon or griffin, despite what the people say about the Doom Flayers. They only have 4 models left and only 1,300 HP left. So yeah, Life Mage does plenty of Earth Bloods to throw on top of these important SEs. And a lot of the Skaven stuff is just too scattered. Not going to be coming back, really. Let's see what people are saying. I'll check it out in 1 second. Deathmaster Snitch does finish off that life mage there. Nice. Stabs her in the gut there and sends her to live in the sands. But that's pretty much the only feat he'll be getting. Concealment bomb gets popped, but he's not gonna be stalking and running away from these guys. They're gonna catch on to him, and he's gonna get the beat down from the girls. Just, you know, a girls' night out, beating down on an Eshin leader here. All right, let's check these messages real quick. I feel like Angel didn't play with the caster last time. Yeah, I was gonna say, that's also probably another big reason why the Skaven kind of had a tough time here. If they had any lore of magic, they could have gotten a lot more opportunities to say, like a Howling Warpgale would have been fantastic against a dragon and griffin. You overcast that, you hit both of them, would have done wonderful stuff. Or even if you just had what is it called? Not Stream of Corruption, the Skaven version of it, just going through the Rangers, that would have been fantastic. Just any form of magic. If you're gonna, as much as I love the idea of not having to rely on magic, unfortunately, the way Total Warhammer 3 works is that magic is just a must in every single faction aside from Khorne. If you're not playing Khorne, then you're really you're really crippling yourself by not bringing magic. Oh, and of course, it's the dwarves. I kind of know how I forgot about the dwarves, but yes, the dwarves and Khorne. But I would love if, you know, there wasn't such a reliance on magic. But that's just the way the game works. If you can get a caster on dwarves, they would be SST. All we need is organ guns. They almost had that, but got rid of it, adding the one for you'll see here to Dawi, the Kiss of the Vampire Lady. The community said no. Yeah, could you imagine? The community really does not want the dwarves to get anything majority of the time. I mean, yeah, obviously them getting magic would not be great for multiplayer balance, but it would still be pretty cool. And I mean, it fits. The Orica does do a lot of work for order factions, specifically human factions, but it'd still be cool thematically. But yeah, I guess balance-wise, yeah, it just wouldn't work. But yeah, people really don't want dwarves to get anything. I mean, rune golems would be freaking fantastic, but people who hate dwarves are like, no, them getting monstrous infantry would be so bad. No, we can't do it. We can't play against dwarves and monstrous infantry. No, that'd be so dumb. And rune golems and all that is so dumb. You can't. It wouldn't make any sense anyways. Lore, like, you care about lore. Get out of here. Give me rune golems now. Thank you very much. 1064 here on Snitch. Nothing in particular did fantastic. Depth runners are cool. They can do well in this matchup, but they're very susceptible to the mini cav that the high elves have. So very risky. Plague monks also very cool, and I'm not sure how they would do against spearmen because of how much melee defense spearmen actually have with their martial prowess. So I mean, theoretically, you'd expect them to do decent, but they do good into rangers at least. Or rather, it's a fairly even trade. But yeah, basically a majority of the time Skaven just go with Skaven slaves and yeah, just Skaven slaves really, which is kind of boring. I like the more. I like Storm Vermin. I like Plague Monks. I like Death Runners. I like all the Skaven infantry, really, aside from the Clan Rats. The Clan Rats I don't care much for, but the rest of them are very cool, and I wish they were used more. So I'm glad to see such an like a more diverse of infantry build from the Skaven side here. Gutter Runners. They didn't really have the opportune targets like they should have had, but they lasted a really long time. I expected them to get routed off a lot sooner from that early engagement, especially after Deathmaster Snitch and his goons left them by themselves with Silver Helms. But they still did fine. I mean, this one still got 1,000 value there, which is pretty incredible. Rat-Ogres, again, weren't there in the appropriate situation that they should have been. They're there to shut down Cav and to surround, say, like the Princess or the Mage on a Dragon and provide that mass you really need from the Skaven for the Skaven side. 1185 there on the Doomflayers. They did great. And yeah, they get some good stuff. They also provide some mass you desperately need on this Skaven side. 1907 there on the Mage of Fire with some pretty good burning heads and fantastic breath attacks. Well played there by Trogdor. 973 on the Princess. And Rangers, how they do? 174, 58, 385, not too shabby. There, River Archers did fine. This one got 920 value, not bad. 976 here on the Silver Helms. 819, 940. Nice, yeah. Cav pretty much reigned supreme there. They did great work. Well played to both players. Longer beards. Yeah. Also, come on, give us freaking give us Joseph Bugman. Where is he at? Come on, any day now, please. Thank you very much. Also, imagine how cool it would be if, like, yeah, Belagar also needs to be a beast. Please give us, like, I know, like, the land battle players, like, the sweaty land battle players just are, like, seething at the thought of like, dwarf faction, the dwarf factions getting anything. But seriously, I would love if any of the other lords were actually competitively viable. But they're all pretty trash aside from Thoric. At least in Dom, you can bring Belagar and he would do fantastic at holding a point. But even then, he's just a throw it and forget about it type of lord. He holds. That's all he does, really. Also, is this also on Spice Dunes? Did they need to change the map? Wait, were people playing on... They were supposed to be playing on Vulture Ridge the last time. Was that Vulture Ridge where we were playing on? Or was that Spice... I'm pretty sure that was Spice Dunes. People were playing on the wrong maps, I'm pretty sure, on the semis. Unless they both... I don't know the difference between these two, because I haven't played on either of them. I definitely haven't played on Spice Dunes. I mean, I appreciate the Thorgrim replays. I would love some Thorgrim replays. My issue is that dwarf players are crippling themselves whenever they're picking Thorgrim. That's because of how bad he is. Because give him back his original ability of hiking. He should be fantastic as a lord. He should be the Carl Franz there for the freaking dwarves, but instead, or not in terms of like melee capabilities, but in terms of leadership and prowess. Oh, this is different. Okay. Yeah, the other one was Vulture. Okay, I got you. I get it now. I see now. I don't know the difference in a lot of these freaking Nekahara maps. Nekwahara. Yeah, dwarf monsters infantry like the rune golems would actually provide more build diversity. In a way, it depends on how they're built, because it might just end up reinforcing the box formation. But the box formation is not going to be changed. I mean, I'll have to spill about this another day, another time, but the box formation is a thing because of the way they made the dwarves. If they weren't built the way they were in the first place, then box formation wouldn't be played as much. And also, even if people don't play the box formation, if dwarves try to play like a fast melee rush build or whatever, fast for a dwarf, they're just gonna get kited. This is why I don't like playing dwarves in land battles, because people are extremely toxic to dwarf players. So, if you and playing box is boring. So, but anyways, Carl Franz on Deathclaw. We do have the same build as last time. Goblin Reckling Ring and Stand Your Ground. He Trogdor is the people's champion there, or my champion at least. I do love Carl Franz. He's one of my favorite lords in the game in general, and I will generally always bring Carl Franz for the Empire because he's just so cool. Outriders, Great Launchers, Spearmen, and Halberds, plus the Grundle's Defenders, that ROR Spearmen with ITP and Rear Guardian. We also have Knights of the Black Rose, Halberds as well, and some Empire Knights, plus more Knights of the Black Rose. Do have Tyrion for the High Elf side with some Silver Helms. Silver Helms are going to charge there on the Knights of the Black Rose. They should do okay there. It should be a wet noodle contest. Really, Tyrion is going to get a fight there with Carl Franz. Carl Franz is going to pop, or rather, Tyrion is puffing in riposte, and he's going to fight Carl Franz. But Carl Franz does take a beat down on Tyrion there. My God, Tyrion is taking a brutal beating. Fireborn are going to turn around and try to help out there, but Tyrion might end up falling here this early on. My God. Spearman and the freaking Life Mage gets terror-routed. What is happening? Oh no! Spearman as well. Spearman do catch some of these Outriders, the grenade launchers. We have some Spearmen coming over as well, collapsing in. Silver Helms get a charge here on these Knights of the Black Rose. A big whole blob fight here. Steam Tank is also up, and this shooting into Tyrion might finish off Tyrion if the High Elf player isn't careful. We do need some healing here on Tyrion. And Tyrion probably just needs to avoid Carl Franz altogether if this is going to be the case. But yeah, also Fireborn definitely need to get around the Knights of the Black Rose here, as a lot of their models are getting stuck on these Knights of the Black Rose. Tyrion definitely needs a micro there on Tyrion. You can rely on his Heart of Avalon to heal him up again, which would be great. But the issue is that you really don't want him relying on that so early on. That's supposed to be like a late game type of situation. And Carl Franz getting into some Spearmen here. He needs to get back up in the air, probably start chasing after Tyrion again, or maybe get on top of that Life Mage. We'll see. I mean, there's plenty of other obvious choices. He can also rear charge the Fireborn who are stuck in melee with Knights of the Black Rose and more Knights of the Black Rose over here. They really should not be stuck in combat for so long. Silver Helms running away from Halberdiers who had got them stuck in melee for a little while. Silver Helms coming back, and we do have some guys over here who are stuck in melee with Empire Knights. Empire Knights will finish them off, and they rout off. Carl Franz chasing after Tyrion once again, who did get into a fight with the Steam Tank. You definitely, as the High Elf player here, you want to ignore that Steam Tank, beat down the rest of the army here. Ignore that Steam Tank until later game. Tyrion is down to already close to his healing cap. This is very, very bad here. You got to watch out. Carl Franz is hunting for that Tyrion booty, and it is not looking good here. If he lands down here and gets another hit, oof, High Elf player really, really has to be careful here. Get him some support from the Fireborn. The Fireborn are going to turn around here. Get an attack here on the Carl Franz. Possibly get us around, which would be great. Stand your ground popped, giving him up to 67 melee defense, which is fantastic. But Fireborn do have fantastic AP and fantastic melee stats. Issue is though, we do have halberds here helping out, saving the Emperor of Mankind, and they will drag down the Fireborn. The Fireborn are in desperate need of an Earthblood or Regrowth. What do we have here? Regrowth, Dwellers Below, and yeah. Please throw a Regrowth on the Fireborn. Get them out of that fight. We desperately need that Regrowth. They're down to 34 models. Yeah, at this point, it's getting really too late here for that Regrowth, and it should have come in a lot sooner, which is quite unfortunate. They are going to be your only thing left here that can deal with Carl Franz and the cav of the Empire side or the steam tank. Yeah, Fireborn are too little too late in terms of the healing they needed. Oh, I'm actually looking at the wrong caster here. I'm looking at the Jade Wizard. Excuse me, guys. I'm a silly goose here. That's the Jade Wizard for the Empire side. They didn't bring a healer for the Empire, for the High Elf side. They only brought Net and False Protection. Nets would have been fantastic against Carl Franz, order them down, or False Protection on the Fireborn. But yeah, no healing there when you're bringing the Fireborn is pretty tough. I can't believe how massive of a beating Tyrion took there. That was insane. Tyrion got destroyed. Oh man. The Phoenix King, am I right? They're Venerian, they said. Can't even take down a man on a big bird. Yikes. Tragic. Ryder is probably crying right now. He's hearing about this, how badly beaten Tyrion was, and I can't imagine he's too happy to hear about it. Silver and Guard gonna get run down here by Steam taking take a massive cannon to the face there. I mean, it must suck being a high elf, training for so long, for so many years, and just getting blasted to the face by a cannon and steam shots, just getting your head blown off by the Empire of Man and their blasted metal contraptions. Steam Tank's now going to start firing in on Mage of Light. Start getting some shots in there. Might be able to run her down and finish her off. Fireborn are gone. Carl Franz is coming back to save the day and finish off the remnants of the High Elf forces. And it'll definitely be going to the Empire side. Well played to both players, but yeah, Tyrion and the Fireborn just had a terrible time here. Yeah, I did call him the Carl Franz the Emperor of Mankind. What of it? He is the Emperor, the only Emperor for Mankind. Emperor Carl Franz. Literally nobody else is worthy of the title. Katarina who? No. Carl Franz over all of Mankind. No, this is the opposite of heresy. Carl Franz is with Sigmar. He does have Garmaraz, Sigmar's hammer. Everything else is heresy. You see what happens when you're heretical? When you're Tyrion, you're a stinky high elf, and you trespass on lands that aren't yours, you get the hammer. You get a 1-2 bonk and you're dead. You think Katarina can do that? No. You know, a dwarf stepping on my shins would be pretty painful. But at the end of the day, it is just a dwarf. If you were saying maybe an ogre or oh, I don't know, a green skin, an orc, any of those, but you said a dwarf. Someone's getting ran over by a sleigh. Yeah, until that sleigh gets blasted to all hell by a freaking steam tank. Dwarves are dense, sure. They're like a ball of. They're like a nicely shaped rock, just a boulder. But then you have like a massive, like you have a massive ogre, and that right there is like imagine you put two sterling wives together, two sterling cows together. That might not even be the enough to outweigh that ogre there. That ogre could probably eat both of those cows and crush my shins by his sheer weight. Hold on. 1 second. All right, I'm back. Listen, I like dwarves. I love dwarves. Dwarf players are awesome, aside from a few specific dwarf players, type of dwarf players. But dwarves are awesome. I'm just not scared of them stepping on my shins as if I would be scared of an ogre, for example. Or, I don't know, a troll. Like, come on, you could do better than that. A freaking bull centaur stepping on my shin? Yeah, now that would be painful. Alright, sorry about that. See what you do is have the torpedoes shoot Carl Franz out of the sky, and Bellegarde will approach him, say something along the lines of 8 peaks, and take Carl's helmet as a trophy. Yeah, you see, that's all nice and dandy here until those Torhammer torpedoes get run down by Knights of the Black Rose, for example, or just general Knights of the Empire. Or they take, oh, I don't know, a Hellblaster volley to their freaking face. Emperor of Mankind, like I said. Anyways, back to the game. Let's talk about the values here. 2121 here on my man. The one and true Emperor of Mankind. Carl Franz did fantastic here. Did wonderful stuff and dumped on that dumb Aravanarian, so they call him Tyrion. That loser. And 87 value here on the life mage. 466. I didn't even see any dwellers below, really. Probably mostly Earthbloods and regrowths I just missed. 466, 338 because how fast the game was. 1078 here on the halberds. Yeah, just really pulling apart the cav of the high elves with those halberds. I'd love to see it. I do love me some good halberd play, man. Halberds are so cool. 940 here on the Empire Knights. 1132, 500 on the Knights of the Black Rose. They did all right. And yeah, Steam Tank, just an absolute menace. 2939. Imagine being a high elf and you think, oh yeah, all this 1,000 years of training is really gonna pay off here. I'm a renowned spearman. I can take down the likes of a troll and by myself, and then you get shot to the face by a freaking steam tank cannon, and you're gone. Sucks to suck. 433, 223 here. Tyrion got dumpstered on. He sucks. He's a loser. 425, 1,030 on the silver and guard. They did great. Silver helms did fine. My cat is screaming at me for attention. 2622 on the Fireborn there. They did wonderful. But definitely got dragged down a lot more than they should have, and should have been the answer to Mr. Carl Friends himself. And even to the Steam Tank. Or the Knights of the Black Rose. I don't just... Listen, hate... I mean... I generally do not like elves. Elves stink. They suck. Them and their dumb pointy ears. But... also, I think... No. I was about to say I don't mind the. I was about to say I don't think I mind the high elves that much, but in terms of elf tier, we got high elves at the bottom, we got dark elves at the top, wood elves in second, and high elves just like stinking at the bottom in the trash can. Screw them. High elf players, sorry, but you stinky. But shout out to my boy Ryder Rohan. He's a great player. Always fun to watch him play. But let's go over some of the replays here. Well played to everyone in the tournament, by the way. I'm just going to go over some of y'all's replays, watch them. I might not spectate all of them, but we'll see. It's mostly just going to depend on how long my voice will put up with. Alright, keep getting freaking text. I wish people would stop texting me. Okay. So let's see what we got here. We do have some Nardu replays. Nardu definitely deserves to be casted. Let's see. Oh, I just clicked on a random one. I didn't even mean to double click on that one, but nonetheless, this is what we got. Nardu on the dwarves up against Twerkman of the Demons of Chaos, not just singular demon. Yeah, no problem, JP. Thanks for hosting. I'm sure all these new players are very appreciative. Words hard. But we do have Nardu on with Thoric here, good old Thoric. What does he got here? Rune negation for that 40% ward save, and we do have Rune Wrath and Ruin. He is on foot, by the way, foot Thoric. With Doric's Rune armor for that 15 armor and 10% flame resistance, which is not bad against the Demons of Chaos, because Demons of Chaos obviously, typically, if they're gonna bring something with flaming attacks, whether it be a spellcaster that casts blue fire, pink fire, etc., or they bring bloodletters who do have fire damage. I believe I may be wrong there. Actually, I think it might be just exalted flame bloodletters. I don't remember that. I think the base ones don't have flaming attacks for some reason. I guess their blades aren't flaming, so I guess it would make sense. But nonetheless, generally Demons of Chaos, demonic factions like Demons of Chaos and Zinj will have flaming attacks, whether it be Floof Blue Horrors, the spells, like I said, etc. So not too bad. And it does have that 15 armor as well. A Rune of Hearth and Home as well for that Vigor. And ITP. That Vigor is going to be really nice, grinding out those longer battles. We do have Miners of Blasting Charges for the front line with some regular Dwarven Warriors. A whole bunch of them, a very thin line up front. We also have Quarrelers for the range component with Thunderers as well. Pretty cool. We also have some Slayers in the back line to protect the double freaking Bolters. Double Bolters, really, Nardu? You're going to be that disgusting? What is your problem? Why do you hate your opponent so much? Grand Vomitus, pretty cool for the Demons of Chaos side. Now, I'm going to rant a tiny bit. I just generally wish that the Demon Princes, all their different flavors, all their different colors, that they had a bit more versatility, or rather a bit more variety into how they play. Like Grand Vomitus is an anti-infantry, whatever. He's just a Nurgle caster, big deal. But there's nothing specifically special about any of these guys aside from their lures of magic, or whatever demon boon they got. So he has the Nurgle, Mark of Nurgle, which obviously gives him increased HP. Blah 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 blah. Which, okay, cool. He has a nice little skin here, which is generally, honestly, I think the Demon Princes are pretty ugly. I think all of them look pretty bad in terms of style. But I don't know. I just find them all generally boring, and I wish they were cooler. I would give Grand Vomitus here a big old Nurgle hammer, a Chaos Warrior hammer. That'd be awesome. Make him a hammer guy, or give him a shield. That'd be cool as well. Give him when I had Mace and a shield. That'd be awesome. Change up their freaking playstyles, please. But we do have good old Grand Vomitus here. The man himself with the Fleshy Abundance and Paragon of Decay. It's alright. I mean, I generally wouldn't take this. Kind of a waste of funds, but you know, nonetheless. We do have Exalted Plague Bearers, and 3 of them in total actually, with Blue Horrors. 3 of those guys, and Pink Horrors as well. Just a big old blob. Interesting. I got Khorne's Bloody Fist here. I'm not sure entirely why, but he is cool nonetheless with those magma-colored wings and a big old great axe. He does have some pretty fantastic melee stats, but he is, at the end of the day, a Bloodthirster. Bloodthirsters in Warhammer 3, which is kind of meh. But definitely not great here against the Dwarven side, unless they bring mass gyrocopters. He does have that Gore Show as well, 10% ward save if he's near a large target. Golden Griffin of Theurgy for that Syrian Doom, and again his Golden Hound. He does have those bound spells, which are pretty nice. Only one of each use style. But otherwise, he's a good AP fighter. He's going to start taking some decent shots there from the Thunderers, which is not great. He's going to go after the Bolt Throwers as well. Though he's probably going to change his mind considering the Slayers are right next to them. And then we have good old Khorne's Bloody Fist going after Thoric, which is pretty brave there, Cotton. I'm not sure about that one, especially with the Thunderers nearby and the Quarrelers. They're going to start focusing down that Bloodthirster, and he's going to fall down real quick, especially with the Bolt Throwers shooting at him as well. Also, do have these Bolt Throwers compromised by Grand Vomitus himself, but Slayer's going to come over here and start making his day a little tough. Chromatic Aberrations and the Blue Horror start shooting in here on the Dwarven Infantry, but it's not going to do so great, as considering they all have shields generally, aside from the Miners. Exalted Plague Bearers are going to get into combat with these Miners, and Exalted Plague Bearers will eventually beat them. It's just going to take them quite a bit. They're not a damage-dealing infantry unit. They're just very hardy. Khorne's Bloody Fish get a Fleshy Abundance, but no amount of healing will be able to circumvent this amount of damage being sent in there into him with these freaking Thunderers and Quarrelers. Though he is going to get out of there, hopefully, and might survive to see the day. He has 2,300 HP. Will he take another volley here from the Thunderers? He just took a partial bit of it, but will he take more? Grand Vomitus gets out of there as well. The Bolt Throwers are so up and about, as no surprise there. No Furies which would really do the job here. Single entities aren't that great at destroying artillery pieces unless it's against, like, say, the Grand Cathane cannons, who apparently are easily destroyed by single entities for some reason. I don't know why, but their cannon models are just, like, so fragile and so huge, easy to hit. But Horn's Bloody Fist comes over to the miners here and tries to get some value here. He's really struggling. Only has 829 HP. He might start going crumbling here, but he looks like he might possibly stabilize. No, he goes to -12, and yeah, he's going to destabilization, and Corrin's Bloody Fist will be vanishing back to the warp, and there he goes. Bye-bye. But it is rough here for the Demons of Chaos, and definitely looks like Nardu will be stealing the win here, sending the Demons of Chaos back to their warp, and Thork will be reigning supreme. Speed it up here as demons start falling and crumbling and going back to instability and whatnot. Grand Vomitus will try his best to get through these Dwarven Warriors, but it's going to be tough for him. As much as I'd wish that Grand Vomitus could save the day here, he is not going to be able to do it. And there he goes. The Exalted Chicken as well. The Golden Bird will fly back into the air, but there it goes to the Dwarven side. Well played there by Nardu. Nasty build there against the Demons of Chaos. Double freaking bolt throwers. I mean, this one got 1 kill and still managed to rack up 1138 just because it was specifically fired at the single entities, and that's how good it did at doing so. They're fantastic now with those 8 models. Thunderers did great, just blasting into those single entities, exactly what they wanted to do, really. And Corlish did great as well, all around. Everything else did fine, the work. Yeah, nothing, I can't imagine anything here paid for itself on the Demons of Chaos side. Yeah, just way too much invested on so few units in the Demons of Chaos side. Very unfortunate there, but yeah, not the right field at all. Oh, why? My mouse just, like, seriously, the double clicking is going to be a real annoyance. I need a new mouse. I got ran over by the demon factions. But that's quick battle. Quick battle, you don't know what you're going to deal with in quick battle. The ridiculousness that people bring in quick battle. Yeah, freaking mouse click. I've been having double clicking on my mouse for a while now, and it's just very frustrating. But we'll move on to High Elves versus Dwarves. We do have Nardu up against Strogdor. See if Nardu can get another win here. But Thoric is back. Same exact build, I'm pretty sure. This is just aside from, I think maybe some Miners Blasting Charges got cut for some gyrocopters. Yeah, we have 5 freaking Whirlers, double gyrocopter steam variants, and 3 bolt throwers. We went from 2 to 3. Nardu, what is your problem here? Why do you do this? Gyrocopter is going to do great here. High Elves do have obviously great range, but the issue is that they don't have fantastic AP unless they bring the Sisters. Sisters are generally hard to protect. So if they bring regular archers, they're not going to do great into the gyros. And the gyros are going to do wonders into the elite infantry of the High Elves if they're brought, which luckily they have been brought, and elite cav like the Fireborn, or general cav like Silverhelms. But yeah, same exact build here. Do we have the same exact abilities? Yep, it seems that we do have Rune of Slowness actually, and Rune of Wrath and Ruin. So Rune of Slowness is going to be great against cav heavy factions like the High Elves. Going to slow down their speed, give your range components time to shoot them down, and give the Slayers time to catch up. Gyrocopters as well. We got 2 of those bad boys with 3 bolt throwers, which are going to do fantastic into Fireborn, into any SCs that the High Elf bring, and all around great stuff. So first things first, Nardu's going to start choosing to shoot at the Lyran Reaver archers, not only because they're in range first, but also because they're the only range component that the High Elves have that can screen out the gyrocopters. But High Elf side, we do have Spearmen for the front line with some White Lines of Krace, double Swordmaster, hell yes. Now if only Nardu was cool enough to bring Hammerers would have been awesome there fighting against the Swordmasters. But yes, double Swordmaster, and we also have Fireborn, the Dragon Prince ROR, with the good old Larry on the Eagle with Tempest and Star of Avalorn plus Earthblood. Plus has Shield of Sapphire, which I don't think is really worth bringing, but nonetheless, Arcane Conduit for that power recharge of 40%. And we do have a Frostheart Phoenix. Frostheart Phoenix, they do have that attuned to magic for that 10% ward save and magical attacks if their Winds of Magic is greater than 15. But you're not really bringing them for that, you're bringing them for the Blizzard Aura. That combined with Tempest on the Larry will be exactly what you need to start chasing down those gyros. You get the 12% speed reduction on the gyros, plus the weapon stat and melee attack reductions on the gyros as well, so they can't defend themselves, or rather they can't fight as good in melee. But also another speed reduction from the Tempest, which slows them down by 60% and does damage to them. So you can catch out those gyrocopters depending on how well you play it. But as you can see, we're going to get a Tempest here most likely. Yep, slowing them down, chunking them down with a bit of damage. Frostheart Phoenix is going to catch onto them as well, and as you can see, the gyrocopters are taking up, beating down to 8 leadership, and they're going to get terror routed. Wonderful catch there by the High Elf side, taking out those nasty gyrocopters, and taking very little damage in return. Wonderful. Now, all you have to do is make sure to get those gyrocopters off the field, chase them off completely, and what you can do is send those Lyran Reaver archers that way, and have those guys chase off instead of sending your single entities. But yeah, as you can see, gyrocopters are already coming back, and that's going to be bad. Larry and the Frostheart Phoenix are starting to take some damage here, and you got to start microing them away from those from that fire of the gyrocopters, and those bolters going to try to dodge those shots. Frostheart, the Fireborn are going to get a nasty charge here on the Dwarven Warriors, and they should continue pushing through, get on top of those Quarrelers as well, as they have the mass to do so, and that's what they'll do. That's what Trogdor will do. Push them through on top of those Quarrelers. That's fantastic micro work there. Wonderfully played. Lyran Reaver archers still shooting into the gyrocopters. Those Slayers are starting to catch up to them. Got to be careful there. Another Tempest hitting those gyrocopters. Wonderful work, giving the Frostheart Phoenix time to possibly catch up to them. We'll see. Larry needs a healing. Needs some healing in there, as she's down to 2600 HP, and she's definitely important for your win. She's definitely one of your win conditions in general for the High Elf side. Quarreler is possibly routing there. We'll see down to 8 leadership. And will the Slayers catch up in time? We'll see. Will they break in time? I don't think they will. Time to pull them out, as they're going to start. The Dragon Princes are going to start taking some damage from those Slayers. Though the Quarrelers do get routed off, but yeah, definitely time for the Dragon Princes to run away, get them around Larry, get a nice Star of Avalorn hill on top of them. They do get a rear charge there on the Dwarven Warriors, which is great. Dwarven Warriors fighting through the White Lions and the Spearmen. Spearmen definitely need to go around and occupy these Quarrelers, stop them from shooting. We do have the Frostheart Phoenix still chasing out the gyrocopters, which is great. That means the gyrocopters, even if the gyrocopters aren't dying right away, they aren't able to shoot, which is fantastic. Gyrocopters shooting into the Lyran Reaver archers, but they are also taking some damage in return, and they actually lose a model there. But they're turning around and starting to shoot as well into the Lyran Reaver archers, which is good. But definitely they want their shots to be focused in on, say, like the Fireborn or the very elite infantry of the High Elf. Star of Avalorn going to be hitting the Lariel and the Swordmasters, which is great, healing her up and doing some good healing work into the Swordmasters. Swordmasters do take a Rune of Wrath and Ruin, but a lot of that damage is mitigated by that Star of Avalorn. It doesn't resurrect models though, so any models lost from that Wrath and Ruin will stay lost. Quarrelers shooting into the back of the White Lions. White Lions do have that missile resistance of 30%, but they are being shot in the back, so even if they did have shields, they would have been mitigating any of it, and it's just perfect for them. Ripe opportunity for them to shoot. But Quarrelers are now engaged by the Swordmasters, and Swordmasters will absolutely blend them apart. Swordmasters and Wildlands definitely are the coolest part of the High Elves. Gyrocopters do come back. They still have 5 models. Froststar Phoenix is chasing after the Dwarven Warriors, getting them off the field. We have the Leon Reaver Archers getting into the quarter back line, and just beautifully played here by the High Elves, really shutting down everything Nardu has brought here. And Nardu definitely investing a lot in those 3 bolt throwers, which is quite unfortunate because they have not paid for themselves. At least I don't think they have. Though, let's check it out. 659 on this one, pretty good. How about this one? 32, 750. Actually doing pretty good. Do we have all 3 online though? We have just the 2, I think. Unless I'm missing yet. One is coming back. That crew is coming back. All models still around, which is great. They could come back in the late game and put some pretty good work in. They are shooting into Larry at the moment, but Larry's gonna get down here with the Frostfire Phoenix, start beating down on some dwarves, and do some good work there. You see the Frostfire Phoenix raking through some Dwarven Warriors, and we also have Swordmaster bleeding through them as well. Those Dwarven crew will not be lasting long. Swordmasters getting some good work into the Slayers here. Slayers obviously do not want to be fighting Swordmasters as they don't have the armor piercing to do so. And Swordmasters do have that bonus versus infantry, so perfect for them. Though we do get a bomb on top of them, which is beautifully done. Beautifully dropped there. Another bomb beautifully dropped on the Spearman as well. Well done by good old Nardu here. A nice charge in from the Fireborn on top of these Quarrelers, and another vice versa charge here on the artillery crew of the Bolt Throwers. Well done by the High Elves, just shutting down and stopping those artillery crew from getting down there. Another Rune of Ratharun possibly hitting those Swordmasters. Wonderful. Not as blobbed up as you'd like it, but they still does decent work. Another Star of Avalorn hitting Larry, Frost Iron Phoenix, and the Swordmasters. Wonderful stars, and yeah, well placed by the High Elf player. Yeah, it'll definitely be, as you can tell from the balance of power, definitely going to the High Elves here, and well played to both players. What would you bring into this? What unit are you talking about, Nardu? What would you bring into this build? We have unit called Dragon Slayer that you need. Learned a lot from this matchup. I know you agreed to bring this type of build. I hit my naked dwarf unit for the day. Yeah, unfortunately, Slayers, they had a tough time there, only being the 2 of them. Honestly, if you were really going to invest heavily on everything else, I probably would have sacrificed some of the Dwarven Warriors for miners with blasting charges instead. And saved yourself some money and invested in maybe another Slayer. And yeah, 1 less bolter for sure. 2 bolters, I think if you're going to go heavy on these bolters, definitely 2 is probably the max. And maybe bring another gyro. But also, the Grudge Rakers are also fantastic here for protecting your back line as well. They can do incredible work. But 736 here on Thoric. Got some decent Wrath and Ruins on the Swordmasters and whatnot. 235, Warriors did fine. 743, 758. Yeah, I'm not huge on the Quarrelers either. They get outranged by High Elf ranged most of the time, and though they do have shields to mitigate a lot of the missile fire from the High Elf side, I would just prefer the gunpowder of the Dwarven side. And if I was going to go with range components, with the crossbows or whatnot, I'd probably just cheap out on the Rangers just because, just to save on other units. I would have the big boys, the Giant Slayers. I don't know. The Giant Slayers are they're pretty risky because of how susceptible they are to cav charge. I mean, yeah, obviously they are bonus versus large and AP, but they're still susceptible to cav charges. And if the high elf player plays it well, they're also and pulls out those cav in time before they take any like really considerable damage from those Giant Slayers. I think the Giant Slayers are just they're just a bit too expensive for what they are, really. Especially with the range possibilities of the high elf side. No, yeah, obviously this is what new player tournaments are for, right? You play however you want it, and that's the thing though. I would never dumpster on a new player at all because a lot of what makes a good Total War player is experience. So a lot of these like sweaty players and high end tournaments, they all have an incredible amount of experience usually. They play a lot very frequently, and they just have a lot of experience with knowing all these type of matchups and whatnot. So you just gotta experiment. You gotta play with however you so please. Do it. Play the freaking dwarves. Represent the Dawi. But I also would recommend you play the Chaos Dawi because the Chaos Dawi are cool. But, you know, you do as you so choose. Alariel, yeah, not gonna get a lot of value there. 790 here on the Frostfire Phoenix. White Lions did fine. The Swordmasters did beautifully. 1375 and 1512. My god. Just blending through that Dwarven chaff. 1357 here on the Fireborn. Wonderfully microed there by Trogdor. Later and Reavers did great as well. Giant Slayers, Doomseekers. Now, I can say that if you're expecting a type of build like this, I could say that I could argue that Doomseekers would be okay here. Doomseekers would do great into Swordmasters or Wart Lions. I actually don't know how Swordmasters would do into actually Doomseekers. I'm saying they would do great there, but I don't actually know. I've never seen those two face off against each other. But they would do wonderful into White Lions. They would blend through White Lions, in fact. You be testing it, don't worry. But do let me know the results. Because Wolf Bolters is wild. Let's run out the Dark Elves. Yeah, I love the Dark Elves. Dark Elves are awesome. Especially, again, when you're a newer player, you can play them how you like. Let's give Nardu a break here, and let's go after, say, Jeopardors. They were asking for me to cast something that they actually won in, and presumably, I think they won in this one because they said three of the games they did win. So that's why they made their way into semifinals. So Jeopardors, if I'm saying your name correctly, hopefully. If not, then just put me on a cross, send me to hell. Why not? Unsub, unfollow, a post about how terrible of a streamer I am. All that good stuff. We do have double freaking Necrosphinx. Awesome. Yes. Alright, Necrosphinx. War Sphinx. I get them mixed up all the time. War Sphinx, not Necrosphinx. Double freaking War Sphinx. I love it. Yes. Awesome. Why can't I play in the new player tourneys, man? This is so fun. What the hell? Um, JP, get me in here. Freaking get me in here. I suck anyway, so just get me in here. Restless Dead here, Incantation of Vengeance, Incantation of Protection, and Blessed Blade of Petra. We also have a Frontline of Spearmen. Now, War Sphinx, the Cetra Mount variant does not have the Archer components on it. General War Sphinx, the generic War Sphinx does have Archer variants on it, and they did get a missile strength increase on those archers simply to account for the fact that there's only 4 of them. So I'm interested to see. I mean, I wish I could tell what part of their damage value is from the War Sphinx itself, and what part of it is from the range components. But I'm sure it'll help out with its performance. I just wish there was a way to test it, really. I mean, I guess you could test it in by just keeping the War Sphinx out of combat and letting them shoot, but you know, that would require some time to do that. Eyes of the Desert and Ushabti are on the field as well. You guys know I love the Eyes of the Desert. We also have Ushabti as well. It can help fight through some of that Skaven infantry, and also even fight against rat ogres if need be. Caprigard will do wonderful, blend through anything that the Skaven bring, really. And actually, I don't know how the Stormvermin do. Apparently they got buffed. I missed that part in the 5.1 patch. I don't know what part of them got buffed, but I'm still sure the Caprigard would still blend through them. Aside from the only thing that probably would have trouble with is maybe the oh no, it's definitely the what are they called? The plague bearer sensor bearers, the plague monk sensor bearers. I can imagine they would have a tough time with. But other than that, they should do great. Yeah, Skeleton Spearmen will be the infantry here, and we do have again the Chosen of the God shop, the Great Bow ROR. They do have those anti-infantry missiles. They do like a burst type thing in the air, and you shoot out multiple arrows. So they are great against horde factions like the Skaven. Though, in higher level play, obviously not, because a lot of the times Skaven will just bring cheap Skaven slave trash. So, and what are they called? Slingers. So generally not worth their ammo to shoot into them. But they could also do okay into, say, like Warlock Giselles. Though, let me see, 275 here, and yeah, they outrange the Chosen of the Gods, so Chosen of the Gods would not be fantastic there. Carrion will be the air components there for the Tomb King side. For the Skaven side, we do have Quickhead Taker, hell yes. Human Boy, yes, aka the most human YouTuber of all time, would be very proud to see this. We do have Mr. Quickhead Taker himself with Dwarf Gouger and Warp Shard armor, his newly buffed Warp Shard armor, which I don't remember what the buffs to it exactly were, but I mean, minus 5 melee defense and minus armor is always good. Trophy heads as well for that melee stat debuff, and we do have Stand Your Ground and Verminous Valor for that little explosion, get him outside of combat. Clan Rats are making up the front line. Also the Clan Vulcan and Tail Slashers are our Clan Rats. Warplock Giselles and the Natty Boobo Sharpshooters. Natty Boober Sharpshooters do have Stalk, or Snipe rather. Stalk and Snipe. So right now the Tomb King player can't see them, but they will be able to see like the missiles of the Natty Boober Sharpshooters actually shooting into their units, because they'll be like purple rays. As you can see, you'll see them shoot into stuff. But for now, they can't see them, so they don't know they have them in general. So if the Skaven player is careful with what they choose to shoot at, it could be very detrimental to the Tomb King side. Rat Ogres as well will be the mobile pieces for the Skaven side. We also have Eshin Triads, the back line, to help guard the Warp Lightning Cannons and the Natty Booba Sharpshooters. Yeah, let's get right into it. Oh, we also have a Warlock Engineer with Flamesy Ruin. Does great stuff all around. They also have that Warpstone armor for that damage per second. AoE Mortis Engine. Wolf Rats as well for the mobile pieces. Chase down any range components of the Tomb King side and any skirmish cav. in the hell did I just hear? I heard like a... I just heard it again. What was that? It was like a dee-doo, 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 dee-doo. Am I going crazy? I think it's like a stream notification or something. I don't know what it is, but nonetheless. We already have the Warplock Giselles and Natty Boober Sharpshooters shooting in there, doing some great work against the Chosen of the Gods. Just done fantastic damage there. Down to, they haven't lost any models yet, but they're down to 4,300 HP. A third of their HP gone, or a quarter of their HP gone. Done some great stuff. Chosen of the Gods shooting into the Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers, doing okay work there. Not a whole lot of value though. But they're also hitting the Warplock Giselles as well. As this game inside, you definitely want to push these guys back, or rather bring them back out of the range of the Chosen of the Gods and the Ushopti Great Bows in general. If they're brought, as they'll start taking much more damage than need be. We have the War Sphinx running in here, doing some great work into the Clan Rats, though the Rat Ogres are going to respond swiftly and get on top of that War Sphinx, do some decent work. Carrion are sitting idly by, waiting for the opportunity. We have something hitting the Incantation of Vengeance, doing some good work damage-wise and slowing them down, giving Cetra time to catch up to them. Though we do have the Rat Ogres coming over to surround him, stop him from doing so. Two of these Rat Ogres get punted away, funnily enough. Queen Cat Takers running in here, getting some hits in on the skeletons. Gonna start killing those bony fellas. The Warp Lightning Cannon is getting some fantastic shots into Cetra. Cetra needs to get out of that Rat Ogre engagement there. He's taking quite a bit of damage himself, and though he's gonna get a nice rear charge here on the Clan Rats. The Carrion jumped down here on the Warp Lightning Cannon, though we do have the Eshin Triads coming over to. The Carrion do count as large, or actually no, small. I'm thinking of a different flying unit. I always think the Carrion are large for some reason. But nonetheless, the Eshin Triads will still do okay into them. They're just more specialized to large. Definitely the Warp Lightning Cannon will still be shooting though, however, as they're forcing the artillery crew to still shoot, putting them on guard mode, and right-click spamming Rat Ogres. What are they doing here? They're helping out here with the Ushopti possibly, as they should be. That Warlock Engineer is getting that Mortis engine there on the Skeleton Spearman, though he definitely will probably do better over here at the main engagement. Do have a really nice Flensing Ruin Overcast. They're going to be hitting hitting Cetra, the Kepler Guard, and the Skeleton Spearman. Going to do wonderful work there. Cetra is having trouble getting through all this mass, the Rat Ogres and Queek himself, but he finally does get out. Wonderful for him, because he's definitely taking a lot of damage, and that Flensing Ruin is still going. Plus, he's taking shots in from those Warplock Giselles. Definitely needs to get out of the range of those guys. Eyes of the Desert, trying to stop those Wolf Rats. We're trying to chase down Cetra, who's down to 980 HP. He is crumbling. No, he might go into crumbling. -1 leadership, though he does bounce back, and he's up to 8 leadership. Can he stay stabilized, however? We'll see. Chosen of the Gods shooting in here. Shooting into the Eshin Triads. Though, wonder if that's really the right choice there. It's not, they're kind of like a more spaced out formation. Maybe bringing them up a bit while the Natty Booba Sharpshooters are focused in on other targets. Maybe bringing them up and starting to shoot at the Natty Booba Sharpshooters might also be a good choice. I don't know, though. But Eyes of the Desert do screen out those Wolf Rats, send them running home. We do have more coming in, and hopefully they might... No, I think they might bring down Cetra here, and he does go down. Poor Cetra and his kitty. They're sent back to Nehekara as the Natty Booba Sharpshooters unload their shots into him, and he has fallen. And balance of power looking a little more in the favor of the Skaven side, though that does not mean Tomb Kings are out of this. We do have one War Sphinx still up, bouncing through the Clan Rats side. Clan Rats might route there, and then they can still continue on going, getting into those Natty Booba Sharpshooters, though the Rat Ogres are there to respond in kind. Same with the Eshin Triads. War Sphinx being hit by that Weeping Blade and the Shield Breaker, though War Sphinx does have no shield, so it does not have to worry about that. It's going to have to worry about mostly about these Rat Ogres, and it's going to get swarmed very, very quickly. had a negative 36 leadership, and it is unfortunately crumbling. Once that War Sphinx goes down, I think it might be spelling the end there for the Team King side. Though we do still have the Chosen of the Gods and the Blessed Legion of Fakta, whatever. Blessed Legion of Demonetization is what they used to call them. But they're still up, though they are now compromised by the Clan Rats. We have the Warlock Engineer coming over. We did see another, whatever it's called, the Frenzied Ruin, hitting the Spearman and Kepler Guard, whittling those guys down, and definitely think it is the end there for the unfortunate Tomb Kings. Will Queek live to the end of the match? Will he live to save the day? It seems like he will be. Flensing that Warp Stone Armor, I think it's called. Yeah, Warp Stone Armor is just slowly whittling down the Kepler Guard and the Skeleton Spearman. And, though, I mean, it is switching back to the Tomb King's favor here. Hey, Queek might freaking die here. What looked like to be going well for the with this game inside is switching around. What is happening here? We did get that Ushabti summon here, which is proving very, very detrimental for this game inside. Wonderfully played by the Tomb King side, keeping that Ushabti summon in reserve for a moment like this, turning things around. Skeleton Spearmen are going to get on top of the Natty Booba Sharpshooters, compromise those guys. We do have the Eyes of the Desert still up and about. 14 models did get hit by that Flensing Ruin, but they kept it away from the rest of the armor, so they were going to be able to turn around, get some shots into that Warplock Engineers. Queek might end up falling here, down to 762 HP. Got 188 kills. What's that value? 1366. Not bad there. Are the Tomb Kings going to win this out here? No freaking way. Warp Lightning Cannon is back up. They still have 3 models going to start shooting in at the Chosen of the Gods here. Going to do some wonderful work into them, though the Blessed Legion and the Chosen of the Gods are still shooting in. We'll see what they can do before the Warp Lightning Cannon starts shooting. Skeleton Spearmen are going to compromise those Warp Lightning Cannons, and we do start seeing army losses. Oh my god, the Tomb Kings have come back from this, and it goes to the Dune Kingdoms. Both cats get shut down, including Cetra. The Kepler Guard get wiped out. The Shabti gets shut down. And still, Skaven lose. The Tomb Kings managed to scrap it freaking back. My god. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. And my non-binary friends. What the hell just happened? What happened was, the Tomb Kings player scrapped it back beautifully with that Ushabti summon. They lost their carrion early on, trying to shut down that Warp Lightning Cannon. The Natty Booba Sharpshooters and the regular Warp Lightning Shells were still up throughout the remainder of the game. There was more infantry left for this game inside at one point, yet things still turned around so quickly. You route one Skaven unit, and then the rest start falling with them. Chosen of the Gods have been keeping Tomb Kings on their back. Same with freaking Eyes of the Desert, man. Just these 2 units are so beautiful. Just strong arming the Tomb Kings, keeping them up into solid B8 tier. Look at them go, man. Wonderful. I mean, they were nailing those rat ogres. Yeah, I said that they were fantastic specifically against infantry, but they were still doing good at sniping at those rat ogres, and rat ogres don't have that great leadership in the first place, so them being rat ogres. But, one second real quick. All right. Let's go over the values here real quick. 1590 for Cetra. Did great work. Unfortunately, did not pay for himself, but he did do some wonderful disruption on his Necros. Am I getting that right again? War Sphinx. There we go. I don't know how I keep getting those two mixed up, but he did all right until, yeah, just not enough, and he kind of got surrounded and killed off way too early. But he did do some wonderful disruption, like I said. Kepler Guard, 1421. They did wonderful, but they did take way too many Frenzy and Ruins and had to deal with the Mortis engine of the Warplock Engineer as well. Despite all that, they did fantastic. I loved that pick into this matchup. 643 on the Blessed Legion. They did great. They were relatively undisrupted the entire game. The Wolf Rats did not even touch them. I probably would have been a good choice to go after them and shut those guys down, but what can you do? That's just a hindsight of 2020. 486 here on the Shopti. 1965 on the Great Bows. Again, yeah, they freaking strong-armed Tomb Kings back into this game. They did wonderful work. Eyes of the Desert also did great, or did okay rather. 510. They weren't even in the spotlight, surprisingly. They couldn't even get into range of the Rat Ogres the majority of the time to load those volleys into. And I mean, half the time they were just kind of fending off the Wolf Rats, I suppose, which makes sense why they didn't take much damage. But definitely, if I was a Skaven player here, I probably would have focused down not the Necrosphinxes, but I keep calling them Necrosphinx, the War Sphinxes, but focus down the the Chosen of the Gods or the Eyes of the Desert with the Warp Lightning Cannons, the Warp Lightning Cannon, and the Warplock Giselles. Getting those ranged artilleries out the field or those defensive units out the field would have been wonderful for the Tomb King side, or would have been wonderful for the Skaven side. So that means no range left aside from the Blessed Legion, and nothing to really deal with your Rat Ogres aside from, you know, the numerous spearmen and etc. And even then, etc. is not great at fighting Rat Ogres. So 1366 here on Queek. That is, oh my god, 1366 on freaking Queek. Hello, Queek paying for himself, and also like, and more so. I mean, I don't even know if Queek actually. I can't imagine Queek is that expensive, but I'm guessing maybe like 13, 1400, 1500. I don't know with his armor and whatnot. I don't know though, but hell yes. Freaking 1366 on Quake. Hell yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about, baby. Woo! Let's go! Finally, freaking Quake gets some spotlight. But he does need some help. Come on, CA. Give Quake some help here. More. We need more. Him and some other people like Throt and whatnot. Throt is... he's okay. But definitely Queek is definitely the bottom tier right now. That buff he got was nice, but even then, like, we need some more. He needs some more. He's great now. He's okay now, but he needs some more. But yeah, freaking 1366. Oh yes, let's go. 1137 there on the Warlock Engineer. This throws me back to Warhammer 2 days where typically you would see double Warlock Engineer for that double Mortis engine, and it was troublesome having to deal with that many Mortis engines, just slowly grinding down your. Can you imagine that? I don't. Warhammer 3, you don't really get that. You don't get that grindiness from that Skaven inside anymore. Now you just get swarms and swarms of rats, which, to be fair, and range commanders, which, to be fair, really fits the Skaven. The Skaven are supposed to be obnoxious. They're supposed to be swarming you all over. 20 stack of cheap obnoxious Skaven just going on throwing themselves at you, and without any care in the world of whether they live or die. Well, Skaven do generally care whether they live or die, majority of the time, but typically if their leader is, you know, scary, they obviously are gonna be okay with dying until a certain point, and then they're gonna start running away because they're scared little they're scared little rats. But that's just, again, that's just the way Skaven should play in the first place. But yeah, in Warhammer 2, they were more grindy with the Warplock engineers, and yeah, as you can see, it still kind of works. They did wonderful. They're slowly grinding down the Kepler Guard, the Tomb King's infantry in general, etc. Clan Rats did alright. Ashen Triads, they were okay. It's tough because obviously you want them there to fend off any Necrohara horsemen or any cav from the Tomb Kings that get on top of your artillery pieces or range components of your Skaven side. The issue is that Carrion, as we saw, are infantry size, so they were able to disrupt for quite a bit without dying fast enough because they're not large. Ashen Triads are specifically built for taking out large targets. They will still kill the Carrion, as I said in game, but it'll take them a little while, especially with the fact that Carrion are undead, so they still have to go through the crumbling status once their leadership hits low enough. So, I definitely probably would have used the Rat Ogres to punish the Carrion instead of the Ashen Triads, but it matters not. Ashen Triads still did wonderful. They're a great pick here. I like to bring them. In fact, they're one of my favorite pieces on this Skaven side. 471 and 1631 here. Natty Booba Sharpshooters then fantastic, as you guys saw, shooting into the Chosen of the Gods and to the two War Sphinxes and into the General Oshapti. 762 here, 705 and 636. Wolf Rats definitely did not get used. Definitely needed to be used more safely, specifically choosing which targets you're going to land on and when to actually use them. As in general, you were mostly able to dictate the matchups they would take in this, because the only speedy units that the Kings really had, aside from the two War Sphinxes, were the Carrion. And the Carrion were so busy in the back line, and the War Sphinxes were so busy in the front line, that generally the Wolf Rats would have had their own time to choose which engagements they wanted. And while the rest of the components of the Tomb King side were in the front line and in your back line, you could have used the Wolf Rats to say, get into the back line. You know, all of this is just hypothetical. It's just, you know, for future matches, you can use the Wolf Rats a little bit more carefully, that's all. Give me Tretch buffs, yes! Actually, I don't really care for Tretch. I'm going to go through the rest of the replays, but just 1 second here. Not Tomb Kings, Skaven. Give me Queek buffs. Give me Tretch buffs. Tretch doesn't matter as much, but give me Queek buffs. And Skorok is alright. He's not terrible. But I definitely missed how good he was in the Warhammer 2 days. That's for sure. Yeah. Yeah. We can't be friends anymore. Listen, Tretch is... He's a funny little guy. He's a you know, he's a little scoundrel. But Queek, man. Queek, he has a freaking rack of heads on his back. How can you compete? And Skorok is just my favorite. He's just the cutest little rat wizard. Look at him. Little teeth sticking out. He got that big old book he casts deadly spells and plagues from. He's wonderful. He's my favorite. But let me go back to the replays real quick. But yeah, we'll play to both players. I don't know if I empathize that enough, but we'll play to everybody today in this tournament. No matter whatever points I give, they may not be like rather not the right way to start that off. They are just pointers for for later on if you want to become a better player. But if you're just having fun, and you don't mind, whatever, I mean, ignore what I'm saying. And also, I'm not that great of a player in the first place. I don't play enough to be considered a fantastic player. I don't practice enough, etc. So a lot of what I say can also just be like disregarded. I do have a bit of knowledge from playing Warhammer 2 and Warhammer 3 PvP, but at the same time, you don't see me in top Vermin League ladder. You don't see me in Domination's top leaderboard ladder. No, I just don't play it competitively anymore. I kind of just play for fun nowadays, and it's just, caster sometimes it helps to provide pointers for newer players. So I hope that helps at all. Yeah, just generally have fun. That's the most important part that I will stress. I can't stress enough. Have fun. It's the best part of playing. Let's do, let's see if we have any matches in particular. We do have the corn dog. Should we cast the corn dog tournament? I mean, the tournament match? We haven't seen Karanak yet. We could see some Karanak. That kit was 1,700? Oh, okay. Yeah. How much did I say he got? 1,400? So almost paid for himself. But, like, Queek even managing to rack up 1,000 value, let alone even like more than a couple hundred, that is beautiful right there. That is freaking fantastic. The corn dog it is. The people asked for it. We will get the corn dog. We got Diarrhea Storm. I hate your name, but Diarrhea Storm with the lady herself, Corn's champion, Valkia, and Karanak, the Corn's dog, the corn dog, up against Jiraiya on the Beastman with the good old, just the boring Bray Shaman of, I'm guessing, Wilds. And I can imagine Karanak being fantastic here. And he is Vanguard. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's pause right quick. We do have a Great Bray Shaman of Wild. Wow, who would have guessed? With Traderkin and on a chariot there. With that arcane conduit. We have for the front line a whole lot of Ungors with some Pestigors. Who would have guessed? With some Ungor Raiders for the range components. We have some Minos with great weapons. Hell yeah, love me some Minos with great weapons. Look at these guys. Some beefed up boys. We also have some Centigors. Whole bunch of Centigors. 3 throwing axe variants and then 2 shielded variants. The Pestigors do have some chevrons. That's nice. For the corn side, or that is, we also have some more Centigors over here. So we have 6 in total, which, as you can see, this is why I don't like playing against Beastmen. Too many freaking Centigors, man. Voice cracking. That's just how much I dislike Centigors. Freaking voice cracks just for my amount of emotional distress at dealing with Beastmen. We do have Valkia, Corn's champion here with Spear of Slapmere and Demon Shield. That's it for her kit. We have Minos with great weapons, all 2 of them with Spawn of Corn. Nice. Do like some Spawn of Corn. They have some pitiful melee defense, but they hit like a freaking truck. 176 weapon strength, and some of it being from Frenzy. I do like that now. With that new update, it does show you what bonus weapon strength you're getting from, like what bonus stat and you're getting and where from. So Frenzy is showing you get 16 more weapon strength from Frenzy, which is pretty cool. I love that. Thank you, CA. Love that a lot. Yeah, hitting like a truck with that 46 melee attack. They are unbreakable being Chaos Spawn, and they do have Frenzy giving them that ITP. Which doesn't matter obviously considering they have unbreakable, but Marauders for the front line. Marauders, Horsemen of Throwing Axes, and For the skirmishing side, we also have some Chaos Furies and the Hounds of the Blood Hunt, the Fleshhound of Horn ROR, the Sons of Karanak, not really, but, you know, fanfiction. Gore Feast, for that 0.10% heal in melee. They do have Vanguard, they have immune to contact effects, so nothing like poison will affect them. They also have that dampen effect, removing magical attacks and providing spell resistance of minus 20%. Negating magical weapons in the effect area as well. Pretty nice effect when you're dealing against magic prone factions. But they also have magical attacks, and then they have, of course, their physical resistance of being demonic fleshhounds. Chaos Warhounds vanguarded up front with the corn dog himself, Karanak. Let's see how well this good boy does. He does have that Wounded Prey ability, minus 5 melee defense, and reducing their vigor as well. Plus magical attacks. He has a pretty beefy stats, 65-45 with 638 weapon strength. Not primarily base weapon damage rather than AP, but still a good fighter nonetheless. Only 50 armor, but 80 leadership and 95 speed, so he is a speedy boy. Do we have the net today? We do have Karanak's How, and no net today. Was it banned? Possibly. I'm not sure. But Foe Seeker, Karanak's How for that Fleshhound summon, and Endless Hunger reveals any hidden units, which is obviously good against the Beastman. It's only a range of 55 meters, so it's not like say tanks won't reveal all the hidden units around the map, but it's still good nonetheless against, say, Beastman units. Not that it really matters, because a lot of the hidden units are going to be Ungor Chaff, considering Bestigors, I believe, don't have... Yeah, they don't have stock, so... But still, it helps. He does have that Talon of the Skull Throne as well. I can already start playing it. But Talon of the Skull Throne, giving him that bonus weapon damage and melee attack for... each enemy unit in range that's wavering or lower, which, you know, is okay against the Beastmen, considering that they have relatively low leadership. But I have problems with abilities like these, because, like what Be'lakor has, because generally you're not gonna get it up high enough for it to even matter. You're not gonna have it around units that are wavering enough for it to even matter. Yeah, ability. Procs, and as you can see, you can start seeing the hidden units start showing. Karanak gets into the Centaurs there, gets a nice little chunk out of them, but now he's being surrounded by freaking Minotaurs. He needs to get out of there. Best boy getting stamped around by freaking those big old Minotaurs. Definitely needs to get out of there. These Chaos Warhounds get shut down very, very quickly. That's just how oppressive Centaurs are. These Minotaurs are chasing down the Centaurs. Let's see how... but they are being screened out effectively. Getting those throwing axes to them, they're going to get some pretty good value there. Valkyria needs to screen them out, jump on top of them, stop them from shooting in. Karanak gets out of that fight there, starts chasing down the Centaurs, like exactly what he needs to be doing. Or rather, I would rather be utilizing the chase down the Great Brashim in a majority of the time, but, you know, trying to chase down Centaurs also helps. Yeah, but yeah, definitely forgetting about the Hounds of the Blood Hunt here, which is really, really tough here. They need to be brought in and to help out, chase out these Centaurs. Same with the Chaos Furies. That's exactly what their purpose is for. These Centaurs aren't being utilized at the moment, but we do see that the throwing axe is being pulled back. These Minotaurs need to be pulled back in as well to help out with any Minotaur engagements, though the front line is starting to engage. You have the spawn of Khorne running in there, helping out, get on top of the Pestigors, and they're going to do wonderful into the Pestigors. A nice spear slap near hitting those Ungor Raiders, though probably better reserved for another lineup like on the Pestigors here, as that would have provided more value. But Valkyrie's jumping in here, getting on top of these Minotaurs with great weapons. She is an anti-large duelist. She's going to do some okay work here. She's being hit by that 75% speed reduction from the Pestigors, which I really, really dislike how effective it is. Like, rather how much it spreads, because right now it's spreading to the Spawn, the Marauders, Valkyria, and the Marauders over here as well. Look how much it's freaking spreading right now. Somehow it's not hitting these Marauders, but Valkyria is being slowed down to 24 speed from that. And it lasts a good bit. Like, obviously it's about to run out, but it's still very, very frustrating. Yeah. She's coming over. She does have that anti-large. She can help out with the Minotaurs. Though those Minotaurs will tear apart your Chaos Spawn. They're doing great into the Corn Great Weapons as well. Definitely need some support there. And Valkyria is providing it. Marauders coming in as well. You have the Centaurs coming around for the flank. Minotaurs trying to screen them out. They finish off those Ungor Spearmen. They need a collapse here on these Centaurs here. The Hounds of the Blood. Oh no, so unfortunate. The Hounds of the Blood definitely got forgotten. But Chaos Fury is coming over at the very least. These Marauder Horsemen need to be brought back as well. They can throw their throwing axes into, say, the Great Brave Shaman or into the Centaurs as well. Or even use to chase off these Minotaurs with great weapons. Making sure they come off, making sure they stay off the field would be fantastic. You do see those Flesh Hounds get summoned in, however, chasing out those Centaurs and catching them out. Beautifully played there by Khorne. Chaos Furies going to be collapsing on those Ungor Raiders, but I definitely think it would have been more appropriate to possibly chase after the Minotaurs or help out with the Centaur issue that you're having right now. Balance of power is looking more in favor of the Beastman. Valkyria is surrounded completely, though she does have some Marauder support. The issue is that there's a whole lot of Beastmen here, and she's going to be whittled down very, very quickly. Centaur's coming over to support out here on these Ungor Spearmen. Going to chase down these Chaos Furies. Chaos Furies definitely need to get into the air, as they definitely don't want to be recharged. They might start disintegrating here, and yep, they're down to -6, -31, and yeah, now they are into demonic instability, and they're going to be going away very quickly. Ungor Spearmen, this Spear Slapnir might be hitting them, and yeah, it does. Rips through the Centaurs and the Ungor Spearmen, plus the Centaurs as well. Does okay work. Valkyria still fighting it out here. She is now left alone at these Marauders route. I definitely think it'll be going to the Beastmen here. Karanak is going to start going to the demonic instability here, and the good boy, unfortunately, is not able to provide, not able to do enough, and Khorne is disappointed, but he did his best. Yeah, forgetting about the Hounds of the Blood Hunt was real tough there. They could have provided a lot of utility there for Diarrhea. Okay, his ability is banned. Gotcha. Yeah, I didn't check any of the restrictions on the tournament, so. I mean, you gotta say a name, right? Even if you don't like it. Benefit rules. Oh, okay. Gotcha. I don't know if the tournament itself used its own set of restrictions as well on top of the fruit rules, or if I do know fruit rules does fruit rule ban it, or is it Vermin League that bans it? I can't remember. I don't know. It matters not. It's banned. It's not in this tournament, and your next it did okay. 708 here on the Brave Shaman, not too shabby. 1280 here. I didn't actually see any of its casts. I'm sure he got some good ones though. 845 and 1280 on the great weapons. They did fantastic. Ungors, Pestigors, you know, whatnot. Didn't nothing too spectacular. Centaurs did great. Yeah, just unfortunate misplays by Diarrhea there. Forgetting about his Hounds of the Blood Hunt. Not choosing the right engagements with the Chaos Furies. And definitely forgetting about their Marauder Horsemen as well. Karanak, he tried his best. He's Khorne's best boy nonetheless. 1056 here on Valkyria. Got some okay Spears of Slapnirs. Tried her best helping out with those Minotaurs, but a little too much for her. Chaos Spawn. I'm not sure how I feel about Chaos Spawn in this matchup. Issue is that Beastmen have a lot of range components. Like they typically spam out a lot of Ungor Raiders. Spawn don't have a lot of. They don't have any missile resistance in general, so they can take a lot of fire very quickly and die very quickly. Especially considering that the Beastmen generally bring Minotaurs, and Minos are great into Chaos Spawn, especially the Great Weapon variants. Chaos Warhounds also got eliminated very quickly. Definitely, you do not want to Vanguard that far up with against Beastmen. The literal Vanguard faction aside from the Wood Elves. But well played to both players. Nonetheless, again, What matters is the fun part of this. So let's see here. Hopefully my mouse doesn't double click. Wonderful. Someone said we saw Hydra. We do. Is this the Hydra? Yes, I think this is the Hydra gameplay. Let's check it out. Alright, on the Dark Elf side, we do have a Supreme Sorceress of Darkness with darkness of dark magic with Soul Stiller and Opal Amulet. Going to be the stereotypical Dark Elves Lord build with Bleak Swords for the front line with some Tread Spears as well for the infantry. I do have a there's two. A loss and a win? Okay, cool. I do love to see me a Hydra, so I will possibly cast both. I don't know if I have both at the moment, but if I don't, I will get the other one as well. We do have the Chill of Sontar. It does have that Frost Breath. Pretty nice. Comes with Frostbite with some okay breath attack damage. It also has another takes its place, so if it has less than 50% of its HP, it does get that 12% heal, which is pretty nice. Only for a second, but it's still 12%, so. And does it have any... No, it doesn't. Okay. It does have a little bit of missile resistance, 35%, a little bit. That's a pretty decent chunk. But yeah, Hydras generally are not that great. With the Chill of Sontar is definitely better, and I hope to see it do well. We do have the Siren of Red Ruin. Sirens, as we all know, have been overperforming quite a bit, but with the nerf, they are a bit more tolerable, but still tough. And Siren Red Ruin is a nice pick. Got that Well of Malice for that 90 to 180 AoE damage, which is pretty nice. And just the overall better stats being a ROR variant. We also have Code 1 Knights in the back for the Cav with some Dark Shards as well. We have some Harpies Vanguarded, 2 of them in total. And we'll move on to the High Elf side. We do have an Archmage of Metal with Book of Hoeth, Searing Doom, and Plague of Rust, plus Metal Shifting. He is on that Moon Dragon, so should do pretty good as a combat SE. Spearman for the front line with some Rangers as well. And is it just the one Ranger? It does seem like it's just the one Ranger. Could help out with those Bleak Swords. Archers, going to be the range component for the High Elves. Do we have any? Are they all just normal archers? Yes, they are. Plus Dragon Princess, 2 of them. Or is it? Yeah, 3 of them in total, actually. One being the Fireborn ROR. And then we do have a Life Mage with just Earthblood. So, going to be healing up those that dragon, plus the Dragon Princess as well. Let's speed things up a little bit as both armies start to posture and move up. We have the Siren already getting a nasty volley there on Spearman, doing some great work. Mostly HP damage, not losing any models quite yet. Now we're going to get another shot in there. Beautifully done there. Going to rip apart those guys, and it's going to start running away. So, as you can see, even with the nerf, it's still doing incredibly well. Though I don't know how well it does into Cav or Monstrous Infantry anymore. Another beautiful shot there, doing some good stuff. A breath attack in from the Chill of Sontar. Gonna do even somehow worse than the Siren of Red Ruin, though obviously it was not as great of an angle. Breath attack hitting the Spearman. Definitely too early of a breath attack. You definitely want to, if you're going to get a breath attack on the Spearman, definitely want to do it from a side angle like that, so you can do a straight shot hitting the entire line of infantry. like this. Moondragon gets a beautiful breath attack there on the spear, on the bleak swords, but actually does a bit of friendly fire on the spearmen because of the angle that they were at. But still, a really beautiful breath attack in general. Absolutely annihilating those bleak swords. Dark Shard's getting some shots into the Archmage. Archmage starts getting a fight there with the Supreme Sorceress. Definitely doesn't want to take that, especially with the Soul Stealer. Harpies jumping in on top of the archers, though quickly responded to by the High Elf player. They're going to send the Dragon Princess in and dispatch those Harpies very quickly. Same on this side as well. Both the flying components for the Dark Elf side have been shut down. These guys get shattered off completely, and these will probably do so as well. Dragon Princess, Fireborn, both pushing in through the front line. We do have a Siren Red Ruin shot in there on the Spearman. Going to do okay work there. Now being surrounded by the Dragon Princess, the Medusa will probably be shut down here. She's a good fighter, but she definitely doesn't want to be surrounded by Dragon Princess, definitely for sure. They don't have great AP, but she only has 30 armor. So, but she does slip away as the order kind of gets dropped there by the Dragon Princess. They don't continue chasing after her. Archmage gets an Earthblood and continues fighting the Supreme Sorceress, though probably dropping down as he's doing was probably the best bet, or as she is doing is the best bet, because that means that the Fireborn can turn around and get a flanking charge there on the Supreme Sorceress and surround her. A Plague of Rust overcasted cast on top of her as well, reducing her down to, let's see, 30 armor, which is beautifully well done by the High Elves. This might catch out, this might be solidifying the win here for the High Elves if they can shut down the Supreme Sorcerers, and she is taking a tremendous amounts of damage. Oh no, this is so bad for the Dark Elves. Yeah, she's gonna fall here. There's no way she's getting out of this. She's down to 1100 HP, 999. She gets a Soul Stealer before she routes off somehow. I don't know freaking how she gets that off, but she manages to get back in the air. Oh no. And she's back in the air. Oh god, can she come back from this? That could be very, very detrimental. Code 1 Knights getting a fight here with these Dragon Princes. They would typically win that, but we do have the Fireborn coming over and assisting, which might be able to turn that engagement around, but now they are now left by themselves as these Dragon Princes run away. Chill of Sontar getting a decent engagement here on the archers, but they are getting shot by the other archers. Again, they do have that 35% missile resistance, and they just got that heal there. Beautiful. So that's going to heal them up, and they're going to keep pushing on through the archers. Wonderful. Rangers pushing through as well. Going to try to get us around here on these Dread Spears. Infantry engagement is going okay for both sides. Archers, Dark Shards coming over. Going to start getting some volleys into these Fireborn. That's exactly where they want those volleys to be going into. And the Chill of Sontar is going to be finishing off those Fireborn as well, possibly. Down to 15 models, 800 HP left. The Life Mage. Did the Supreme Sorceress get finished off? Oh, she got chased. She's getting chased off by the High Elf player, by the Life Dragon. Wonderful. Not Life Dragon, the Metal Caster. Wonderful. Smartly played there by the High Elf side. Archers continuing to shoot into the Chill of Sontar, which is reaching its hill cap, and it's being shot by all three archers. So it's probably going to fall here. We'll see. Another breath attack hitting the archers. Gonna do okay, not too shabby. Definitely it's gonna be dressed like a dragon breath. The reason why Hydras aren't that great is because their breath attacks require much more time to line up than the dragons do, and they're not that great at fighting infantry in the first place. They're much better as a duelist, but half the time they're just gonna be they're not gonna make it to actually duel with anything. The other players are most likely gonna avoid them. But it does get that another health proc. Nice. It does get their region up to 4100 HP again, so that's going to be soaking up more archer fire. Beautiful. Hopefully it can come back. We'll see. This Fireborn could be sent to chase it off, depending. We'll see if it does. Balance of power is looking much more in favor of the High Elves, though. We'll see. There's a lot more left on the field for the High Elves. If the Chill of Sontar is completely chased off, I definitely think that it'll be going to the High Elves, especially considering the Supreme Sorceress is gone. Yeah, definitely going to the High Elves here, and beautifully well played by both players, especially the High Elves, getting that surround there on the Supreme Sorceress, and shutting down that Hydra. You didn't see the Archmage landing in the match? I keep reading that ability. I'm not gonna lie, that Hydra looked accurate to the real thing. Yeah, the I love the Hydra so much. They're such a cool freaking unit. It's just they require a lot of setup, something that dragons just kind of overshadow majority of the time. But could you imagine if like Rick Karth or something got a freaking Hydra mount? That would be pretty cool. It wouldn't be very good, but it'd be very cool. But I definitely think, like, say, well, like you can see, what is it called? The Cryptus. That can be made work. That can be made to work, considering you can get heals to heal it up with masters, but that's because you're getting more of an anti-large specialist duelist with that thing, and it also has the leadership debuff, while the Hydra, really the only thing it has going for it is some good AP values and a breath attack that takes a long time to set up. So, I mean, it does have the regenning, which is nice. So it's kind of like a phoenix in that way. But the issue is that even if it does come back with the healing, it's probably not going to save the day. So, still very cool. And I really like seeing it in this match. Cool to see it. Shirayuki bringing the fun units. 2172 here on the Supreme Sorceress. Wonderfully done. It's just quite unfortunate that she got surrounded by the Fireborn there. Infantry did fine. 1712 on the Dark Shards there. Yeah, got some beautiful shots into the Fireborn, the Dragon Princess, and even into the High Elf Caster. Just yeah, solid all around. Well played by Shira with picking the appropriate targets for him. 801 and 781 on the Cold One Knights. Hydra, the Harpies got absolutely decimated. Yeah, Hydra only 800 value there, not too great. 1352 on the Siren of Red Ruin. Didn't pay for itself, but still did pretty good. 1358 there on the Archmage. Didn't really pay for it herself, but she still did good all around. It's pretty. I only think I saw one breath. I think I saw two breath attacks. I can't remember, but they were well placed. Everything else, Dragon Princes were really the spotlight there. Some really good micro there by the High Elf side by Trogdor, utilizing those Dragon Princes well, and landing that High Elf Archmage to get that surrounded with that Fireborn. But yeah, just well microed there all around with your Cav. Yeah, Ricard did get that cost reduction, but even then, like, he's still, I think, too expensive. There's no reason to take him over Lokir or Supreme Sorceress or even Malekith. Malekith is around the same price. Let's see. Ryder had good success with using him against what's his name? Black Knight's Lizardman, but you really have to make him work. I mean, he was just mostly just being sent in to chase after the Slann Mage Priest that entire game, and he probably would do the same job as Lokir. And Lokir has a regen, so yeah. Let's see. So Lokir on Maelstrom with Dreaded Duelist and Helm of the Kraken, 2400. Like, look at that. If you throw in Merciless Slayer, which is great, -6 leadership, 2500. You have Rakarth on Brachus. You give him Whip of Agony, which I think is pretty good. He's already up to 2450. You give him, say, Beast Lord's Gaze, which is also one of his best abilities, and Beast Slaver, 2650. Beast Armor of Quran Kar, if you're going to use him as the anti-large specialist he is, you throw that on top of him. I think 200 is okay price for that. You get 11% ward save and 10 melee defense. But he's already up to 2850 there. Full kit is 3000. He's better priced now than he was before. He was way too expensive before. Like 3500, I think, or so. So he's much more moderately priced, but I just don't see a reason a majority of the time right now to bring him over Lokiran, Maelstrom, or say Malekith. See if you get Gaze in the Gash, Gaze in Malice, Soul Stealer, and Seraphon, 2850. Yeah, I don't know. Whip of Agony is extremely expensive. Yeah, like that's way too freaking. It's good. It's just, don't get me wrong, but 250 for this? Are you freaking kidding me right now? That is way too freaking expensive. Like, at max, I could spin on this thing and not regret it is probably maybe, I don't know, 150 to 200 is like probably around the sweet spot, because 250 is ridiculous for that thing. Yeah, it's a 30-second duration and 120-second cooldown. You have to wait 2 minutes to get this thing back again. If you're gonna price it like that, at least reduce the cooldown. Like, my god. But yeah, probably cast like 1 or 2 more replays and call it there, as my throat is already suffering. Oh my god, do we see the Heralds of Corn's Fury? And we do see another Hydra, so that might have to be one of those, the little 2 games that I cast. Okay, first let me get rid of some. I think I already saw this one, yeah. Okay, let's see. We do see some Scourge Runner Chariots for Dark Elves against Dwarves, which would be pretty good. Skaven versus Slanesh. We saw the same teams of Chaos build against Beastmen. I can't imagine that goes well. Let's see, what haven't we seen today? We've seen some Tomb Kings. We've seen some Dark Elves. We haven't seen Ogres. Though Beastmen against Ogres is notoriously rough. Though a Giant on the Ogres is pretty cool. Double Giant, actually. Excuse me? Okay, we might have to cast this. That might have to be the one. What else do we see here? We do have a Mutant Rat Ogre for Skaven side on this one. Against Lanesh. Okay. I think we're going to go with the Double Giant here. Yeah, let's go with the Double Giant here. All right. All right. So, do have Great Regiment of Wild with Traderkin on his chariot. Front line of Ungors with a Gorbel. Very cool. I do like to see a Gorbel. I think he did get a buff recently with some weapon strength or something like that. I can't remember. I'd have to check later, but I think he did definitely get a buff, which is pretty nice because Gorbel definitely needs a buff. Minotaurs are great weapons as well. 2 of them plus a whole load of Ungor Raiders. Centaurs of Tzeentch. Is it just the one Centaur of Tzeentch? I think so, yes. 3 throwing axes and a standard Centaur. And we do have the Destroyers of Drakewald as well. Ungor Spearmen with... let's see, I think they have poison, right? I think that's all really it is, aside from my stat changes. Yeah. Just poison and then stat changes from being a regiment of renown. That is it for the Beastman side. We do have Ogre Kingdoms with Slaughtermaster and Troll Guts for that healing, Bull Gorger for that melee attack buff and armor piercing weapon damage, which is pretty nice, especially for how cheap it is for wins each cast. Extra ingredients for extra power recharge and reserves per second. Also have that Blood Cleaver for that heal in melee, which is pretty nice. Blood Gruel for more passive healing every time it casts. Whenever you're spamming out Bull Gorger, it'll be proccing that Blood Gruel for that 0.4% heal. But it's only on the caster himself. So Belly Slapper for that -8 melee attack on enemies within that 35 meter range, which is nice. And he's an okay fighter, 40-48 with 400 weapon strength. Infantry line, we do have a whole load of Noblars, no surprise there, with some Ogre Bulls. 4 of them, is that 1, 2, 3, 4? Yeah, 4. With some Load Belchers, as well as the range components, Noblar Trappers. Do have some Iron Guts, 2 of them. Is it 2 of them? Yes. And we have the double freaking giant. Interesting to see. But I'm not sure how well they'll do here with the Minotaurs and the throwing axes of the Beastman side. But let's get into it. They have some beefy stats being giant, 65, 30 with 700 freaking weapon strength. They have relatively high leadership and relatively high. They have 105 freaking leadership, 50 armor as well, and they do cause terror, so they have some merit. But yeah, Load Belchers. See if they can get some good targets to shoot at. Shooting at the throwing axis could be okay, but yeah. Turn it around. They're going to start shooting some volleys in. Let's see if they can do some good work here. Kind of. Not really. The tree's kind of mitigating some of that fire. Definitely need to pull the Iron Guts and the Lead Belchers away so they don't take any of those throwing axes. Infantry and starting to engage. We do have the Giants coming over. Gonna start fighting the freaking Gorbel. Is Gorbel gonna be punted away? No, he's not. He's gonna get in there and start brawling it out. He doesn't care. Lead Belcher's shooting in. What are they shooting at the moment? They're just getting some nice shots in on the Centaurs with throwing axes. Already knocking off a few models. Doing some solid HP damage. We need those Iron Guns and the Ogre Bulls pulled in here. They're not really serving much purpose back here. Gorbel is taking an absolute beating there from the Giant here. He's doing some damage in return, but yeah, Gorbel is getting stuffed in his freaking face with that hammer. Oh my god, Gorbel. My god. We're going to get a Traderkin hitting somewhere. Is that what I just see? Yeah, a Traderkin hitting the Ogre Bulls. Overcasted. Pretty nice. They're going to... actually, probably would not be throwing that on the Ogre Bulls. Probably would be throwing that on the Loud Belchers. Or maybe the Iron Guts. But nonetheless, you have the Giant being hit with a Troll Guts after he beat the brakes off of that Gorbel. And is now being chased by the Destroyers of Drakewald. We have the Lead Belchers being shut down, possibly sandwiched by the freaking Centaurs of Tzeentch and the throwing axes. My god, that was a beautiful sandwich. Lead Belchers are been absolutely decimated. Slaughtermaster killing a freaking Centaur there. And now battling out with the other Centaur. He's going to be healing in that melee. But he's also going to get some support from those Iron Guts, which is great. Definitely need some help there. Though the Centaurs of Zeech are going to get away. These Throw Nexus going to go around and start getting some nice value shots there on the Iron Guts, but they're actually going to completely chase off the Noblar Trappers. I'd actually probably keep them back here and keep those shots going into the Iron Guts, but the Minotaurs of Great Weapons should be enough. Giant doing some good work here, fending off the throwing axes, but yeah, definitely need to get collapse in on those Ungor Raiders, as they're just getting some free fire there on the Giants, and chasing after those Centaurs is never going to pay off. You can also send those Noblars in as well. This Giant gets routed off, and it's probably going to get finished off by the Centaurs of Zinch, or by these Ungor Raiders as they shoot into them. Iron Guns pushing in. This is a pretty Chad Ogre build here. I love it. Iron Guts running in here. Going to start taking some damage from the Destroyers of Dracula, which is not great, but they do have 100 armor at the very least. But yeah, I'd probably push them in and try to get us around there on the Great Bray Shaman, or collapse in on the Ungor Raiders. Though we do have some Minotaurs of Great Weapons, Ungor Spearmen, and Centaurs here, which could be pretty trouble there for the Iron Guts. The Centaurs coming in here, getting us around there on the Giants. We get a Troll Guts, but we also get an Overcasted Traitorkin hitting these Noblars and the Giant itself. So mitigating some of that healing there. Centaurs come in as well, get a rear charge there on the Noblars, send them home. And I think things are definitely really going to the way of the Beastmen, though. It was a good scrap there by the Ogre Kingdoms player. Cool build, but yeah, Minotaurs are great weapons, and the amount of Centaurs just a bit too much. Losing those Blood Belchers with the surround from the Centaurs. Tough time to protect the Blood Belchers against Beastmen. But very, very cool seeing the Giants there. I loved it. One even picking up a Chevron. 103 kills, 105 kills, up to 900 value there. Not sure how the other one did, but yeah. Yeah, Giants definitely did better than I expected. Though to be fair, one of them got an ideal target, just really beating down on the single entity that is Gorbel. So makes sense. Yeah. Maybe if the Ogre Kingdoms had some Saber-Tusk pack to try to defend the Giants there from the throwing axes. But there's a reason why the Ogre Kingdoms against Beastmen is a tough matchup, because the Centaurs, Minotaurs are great weapons. It's just, and the massive amount of Ungor spears, it's just really, really tough. It's hard to protect your Blood Belchers. Saber-Tusk packs just kind of get run over by Centaurs all of the time. They get caught out. Your Ogre Bulls just kind of get swamped in Ungor spears. Minotaurs are great weapons. Do great against your Iron Guts and just a majority of your Ogre roster. It's tough. But especially if, like, say, Double Gorgon or our Jabber's Life that's brought. 720, though I wouldn't bring a Jabber's Life into this, to be fair. Into Ogre Kingdoms. It's just, you already have, the Beastmen already have enough to do it without any of those 3 units. 721 here on the Beastman caster there. Gorbel got absolutely decimated. I was just talking about his buffs and whatnot, but to be fair, he did fight a giant. You know, that was on Gorbel. He got over his head there. He thought, you know, I got some weapon strength buffs. I got some buffs. CA is really noticing me now. I can do it. I'm strong enough. I'm a big old Minotaur. I got a big old great axe. I can take down a giant. And then, you know what happened? He got clubbed in the face and sent packing. The other Minotaurs were laughing while they watched the Gorbel try to take down a giant by himself. The actual Minotaurs there, 1381 and 1325. Yeah, they did great. No surprise there. Of course, Spearmen just being absolute menaces. Centaurs did fantastic. No surprise there. Centaurs are menace. Noblars being Noblars. Somehow just above goblin laborers in terms of usefulness. Ogre Bulls did not do that great. Iron Guts either. 889 though on this one, not too shabby. Nobbler Trappers did fine. Lead Belchers did okay, but again, it's just really hard to protect them enough to actually get more than a small amount of value. Giants did fantastic. I mean, 1,075 on this one. That is beautiful. And 1652 on this one. I mean, I don't know which one beat down on Gorbel, but it didn't matter. I think it was probably this one. I'm not sure. Yeah, because the one that died was the one that beat down on Gorbel. So it was definitely this one. He got 1,600 value. Pretty much, I'm sure all of his value was just from Gorbel, really. The other one still managed to pick up a decent chunk of value for being a giant up against a Beastman. He took a while to take down. And did some pretty good stuff. What in the hell is this? Jerry Lou. This is a freaking bot. Let me just... There we go. That should work. Wonderful. Yeah, I don't know what the hell that was about. I've never seen a bot like that. Just spam whatever that was about. But all right. I'll probably end it with the Hydra game. Let's see. Specifically because, one, we get to see the Heralds of Khorne's Fury, and two, Hydra. So, you know. Let's just make sure real quick there's anything else I could have... Yeah. As much as I would love to cast all of them, it is a bit of work. All right. Dark Elves up against Khorne. We have Shirayuki again. Supreme Sorceress up against Valkia the Bloody. Supreme Sorceress on a dragon with Opal Amulet and Soul Stealer. Dread Spears and Bleak Swords for the front line. We do have some Dark Shards as well, 2 of them this time, with some Cold One Knights and Dark Riders for the Cav. Again with the Chill of Xantar. Hopefully does a bit more better this time. Siren of the Red Ruin as well. For Khorne, we do see Valkia with Spear Flapnir and Demon Shield. Your typical kit, Chaos Furies. Just the one with some Fleshhounds Vanguarded and some more Chaos Warhounds as well, Vanguarded too. And then some more Fleshhounds as well. Front line is going to be Marauders of Khorne with dual weapons and some Chaos Warriors. Marauders of Khorne should theoretically do okay into Bleak Swords. Bleak Swords do have much better melee defense, but overall much worse melee stats and drastically less HP. So, Marauders of Khorne I think should win out the fights with them, but Bleak Swords are no pushovers. Minotaurs of Khorne with dual weapons, 2 of them, plus the Heralds of freaking Khorne's Furies. Yes, I love these guys. I fret for them. I'm scared for them. I think they're going to do absolutely terrible this game because of the Cold One Knights. They're going to get run over, especially considering they're anti-infantry cav and not great at fighting the other cav. But we'll see how they do. They do have that Mantle of Immolation, -5 melee defense and weakness to fire damage, plus 20% for enemies within the 35-meter range. But they do have the Minotaurs of Khorne supporting them as well. So we'll see. Hopefully they do well. I would definitely bite my tongue if they do great. I mean, that's not how the saying goes. I might end up biting my tongue here, and they will do great. End up doing great. But they do also have the Hellblade being Bloodletters as well. So, but yeah, fantastic stats. 50, 43, 60 weapon strength, 42 being AP, and 18 bonus for his infantry. So theoretically, it should do wonders into the Dark Elves infantry. They have 100 armor as well, decent leadership, and 62 speed. Not too speedy, but not too slow either. Siren getting in here. Did it get a shot in? No, it did not. It turns around real quick. Spear of Slapnir. What the heck was that? I'm not sure. Kind of probably set it down that way on accident. Chaos Fury's been sent in a little too early, I think. But they are doing some decent work into the Dark Shards. Those Cold War Knights come in here, do some good work against those Chaos Furies. Probably going to send them off really quickly. Supreme Sorceress getting on top of Valkia. Valkia does pop that Demon Shield, or rather did. Demon Shield is now gone. And now she's probably going to get out of there. Not want to stay along too long. Stay in the fight too long. Cold War Knights getting more of a surround here on Valkia, and especially with the Shield of Solitaire. Valkia might... Valkia is not doing... She does not want to be in here. Shield of Solitaire, Breath, hitting those Chaos Warriors. Going to do okay, not too shabby. Minotaurs of Khorne coming around. Might get a surround here on the Cold War Knights as the Chaos Warhounds do get an attack on them. Yep, the Minotaurs of Khorne might get a rear attack on them, and they do beautifully. Well done there. Though these Cold War Knights, these Minotaurs might want to go around and sandwich them in, but unfortunately that's not going to be the play there. Fleshhounds could also do the job as well, as they're a bit more speedy, chasing them down. If you say you chase them down with the Fleshhounds, obviously catching the Siren would also be a good job, but if you send them in, catch the Dark Riders or the Cold War Knights, that would give you time for the Minotaurs to catch up and get on top of them. But we'll see. They do get sent in after the Medusa, which could also give the Minotaurs time to catch it and kill it. Dark Shards being sent off possibly, down to forward leadership, being chewed up by Fleshhounds at the moment. We do get Murderous Prowess pocked, giving that leadership and vigor per second plus melee stat buffs. Valkia does get sent off as I expected, which is quite unfortunate. She definitely was in melee for way too long with the Supreme Sorceress and the rest of the Dark Elf units. But yeah, Valkia does fall there. Opal Amulet popped. Give the Marauders kind of in a prime opportunity there for the Shield of Solitaire to build up value. Just murdering through Marauders there. Dark Shard's going to start going to get out of that engagement, start turning around, getting some shots in. And I think with the death of Valkia, this things could be pretty bad there for Khorne. A nice breath attack hitting those Chaos Warriors, plus a Chill of Solitaire breath. Yeah, those Chaos Warriors just absolutely got butchered there. Wonderful. Nice tag team breath there. Soul Stealer is going to be hitting these Minotaurs of Khorne, plus the Marauders of Khorne as well. And yeah, just going to really probably end it there for the Minotaurs. Plus the freaking Siren Well of Malice there. That's going to seal in the deal there for sure on the Minotaurs, as they're surrounded by the Dark Riders and Cold War Knights. They might end up just shattering there, yeah. And it'll be going to the Dark Elves. I didn't even get to see the freaking Heralds of Khorne's Fury, unfortunately. Which is just quite sad. That's actually what I wanted to see them, what I wanted to see this game for, but yeah, Valkia got absolutely decimated. She stayed in the combat for way too long, and that was definitely not the right call there. She is a good duelist, but she's definitely not going to take the Supreme Sorcerers on, plus by herself, plus the 8 of others. You know, she's like right dab in the middle of this Dark Elf formation with all that support nearby. They were stuck in Dread Spear combat until I sent the dragon on them at the end. Oh man, I can't believe I missed them, and they got completely disintegrated too. Freaking hell. Only 672 value. Yeah, I kind of expected them to not do so great, but they're such a cool unit. It's such a shame. I wonder if the Skull Crushers could have been good here, but I guess the Dark Shards can make their day pretty tough. 2213 there on the Supreme Sorcerer. She did wonderful. I mean, just from what Suriyuki said, she probably picked up a lot of value rear charging those Heralds of Khorne's Fury and finishing them off. Plus, she got some good breath attacks, some nice soul stealers on the Minotaurs, etc. Just wonderful all around. Infantry for the Dark Elves did good stuff. And Cav did great as well. 800 here, 790. Chill of Centaurs didn't get a whole lot of value, but as you can see, it just did overall a lot better in this matchup. Not a whole lot to shut it down, really. The Ministers of Khorne were so busy with the Code One Knights and everything else that the Chill of Centaurs was pretty much able to reign free. 1056 here on the Medusa. Did some great stuff. Yeah, if Valkia wasn't committed so early on, she could have been used to, say, screen out the Medusa, get into the Chill of Centaur, maybe force engagements with those Code One Knights so the Minotaurs can catch up to them, even harass the Dread Spears. Or not Dread Spears, I mean the Dark Shards. Plus, she still had plenty of Spears of Sleipnir to throw down, especially considering that first one was not great in the first place. It might have been just some unfortunate misclick. But yeah, just her losing her so early on just really kind of solidified the deal there. She had a lot more role to play in the game, and she was gone too early. Chaos Warriors, Herald's Khorne Fury, 672. Flash Hounds did, Ministers of Khorne did fine as well. So unfortunate. Yeah, if Karth has some beast buff, I definitely would probably play him more as the Dark Elves. I would probably play Dark Elves just for him and Malekith, because just those two are my favorite on the Dark Elf side. They're so cool. Ricard's being freaking played by Ramsay Bolton, man. How cool is that? But yeah, I wish he buffed up monsters so you can like utilize the Hydra more and utilize just the monstrous parts of Dark Elves more. That'd be very cool. But that'll probably be ending it there for me, guys. Sorry I can't cast all of the replays. I'm just a bit tired. I didn't sleep that well last night. Not only that, but it's freaking hot in Texas. I do have a window AC that's helping out a bit, but I'm freaking drenched here. I'm boiling up in here in the Texas heat. It's tough out here. And casting is also just tough on the voice. If you do bring Rakarth and the 3-Lord tourney, do send me some replays. I will definitely cast them at a later time, maybe in a video or two. I'm telling you, if any of you newer players, any of you are in here, you use any of the cool lords, you have a good match, send me over the replays. I mean, there's other live casters, obviously you can send them too, but I would definitely move your replays up on the line up in the list if it utilizes any cool units or lords, because I'm all for the fun stuff. I'm less for the sweaty stuff. I'm all for the fun stuff. Thank you guys for watching. Well played to everyone again. And keep grinding out these new player tournaments. Keep coming back. It's always fun to have you guys. Thanks to JP for hosting the tournament. For those of you who don't just play Land Battle and want to play Dom, I know some of you don't like Dom at all, but so for those of you who do, I also host some new player tournaments myself in Dom on occasion. I try to do it once a week, but I've been lacking here. I've been slacking, just, life in general, depression and whatnot. But I host those as well if you ever want to join in. It's always fun to play against new players in both settings, and I'll try to host some Conquest tournaments as well, for new players as well. If people want to try those out, just take a look out, watch out for any tournaments that get posted. I will try my best to host some more. But yeah, thank you guys to everyone who played, and I hope all of you had fun. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys next time with another one. See you guys next time. Bye bye.